click on that arrow.
Okay, I tried to click on something and I lost my video and then my audio.
What are you looking for? I will find out.
Gina Stahlnecker, who is playing Eunice, and Felice Rosser.
Everybody who's on.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Penny.
Oh, hi, Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Hi, Sue. Hi, Deb. Hey, you guys, I gave the wrong link to timeout so that the Zoom link is for the cast, but the YouTube link is in the comments. But you can watch through Zoom if you turn off your, I guess, camera, and not that we don't want to see you.
Did you get it?
Ah, Jesus Christ. Sorry.
We are live on YouTube right now. So
oh, we good. Okay.
if anybody wants to just watch and tune in from there, that would be great. And
yeah.
I'm
just gonna take the cat that sent me to the ER twice out of the room now. But you could watch. Yeah.
Hello? Yeah, I can't find it in YouTube.
There's, oh dear. Do you have?
I was going to a link I got about a week ago. I don't know if it changed.
Well, do you have the go on Tammy's?
Here's the link. I just posted it of the actual video. So this is what's happening live right now on that YouTube link I just posted.
In chat, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So tell her that.
And if it's a cast of 11, if the 11 are here, we can go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Right. So welcome to Desire.
I'm gonna watch my news if you don't mind.
We have an amazing cast of actors performing this iconic play.
Actor driven, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
give me 1 second.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, no patience at all.
Sorry.
Okay.
All righty. Let me go ahead and run down the cast. We have Penny Arcade. Penny, welcome.
Yay.
We have Steve Earle as Stanley Kowalski. We have the legendary Austin Pendleton. I'm Mitch.
Give me 1 second. Jesus Christ.
Starlite as Stella.
Jack, this might be the time to tell everybody to mute their sound so we don't have us in the background.
Yeah.
Anybody who is not in the cast, if you could go ahead and leave the meeting, and the show is up on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Or if you want to watch on Zoom, you can just mute your camera and microphone.
Jack, this might be the time to tell everybody to echo.
Yeah. Somebody has the playback playing on their computer. I think is what's happening. So you need to either mute the Zoom or you need to mute the YouTube that you have playing. Otherwise,
you want to watch on
Jack, you're the organizer. Why don't you mute the people from your end who are not in the cast?
I can do that. That's a good idea.
This is sort of like the Sondheim thing, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be so happy when it's stopped. What is that? Not in the cast.
I can do that.
There's the door.
I can't wait to find out who the loudest one is.
I know.
Psycho kitten.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I have. Well, oh God, the door. That's what. Cat is going back in.
Okay. All right, I think we have it together. Again,
Okay.
if you're not in the cast and you're able to leave the Zoom and go to YouTube Live, that would be great. Otherwise, we will begin.
Is Gina here?
I haven't found her and I didn't find Felice either.
Yeah, I don't know where they are. And
Email Gina
Here.
to get into Chrome. She
yeah,
made-
I did. Yeah,
And I'm
she.
here. Felice is here.
Felice is here.
Hi, Felice.
Hi, Felice.
Hi, Penny. Hi, Tammy.
Thank you so much for doing that. For doing this.
You're
I
welcome.
just, oh,
It's on.
okay.
On YouTube. Okay. Let me give you the.
Okay. Then. Okay. All right. Kowalski, you want to say hi? Okay. All right.
Are you having
Okay.
her talk to us?
Oh, cat. Yeah, this is the one that doesn't bite. Penny, I went to the ER again last Sunday.
Yeah, you know what? You got to get a handle on that, Tammy.
I know. Well, she's very sick. She's
Yeah.
16, and I pet her, and then she just.
They turn on you, darling.
I know. I
That's
know.
why I never had
You have
children.
distemper at some point.
Yeah, I think my guess is she has dementia because she just sometimes goes like, randomly.
I had a cat that had a bunch of nerve damage because she had distemper, and every time you touched her in some places, she would take your arm off.
Yeah. Yeah. This
This
one.
my cat, it was a girlfriend's cat. I had to put up.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's this one over here. She's very lively and likes to be part. She has FOMO, but she wouldn't bite for anything.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Odd, Tammy, you've been to the ER 3 times.
Just twice.
Oh,
Last week at 4 a.m.
oh God.
I know.
That trick on that one.
Yeah, I love her so much, but she's never been nice, but now she's just, and she loves us, but
Screaming
Um,
to me.
huh?
She's a cat.
I know.
Step away from food.
I know.
1 step away from food.
I know. Oh my God.
Remember Barbara's cat? How old was that?
Yes.
She had
Oh
that
my-
cat for like 20 years and it turned on her.
Yeah.
Are we ready? Are we going
I
to give
get.
it
Is
another try?
Gina here?
I don't know. I'll look. Let me look. But she doesn't speak if she's here, Jenna. What's her last name?
Gina Stahlnecker.
Yeah, she's on there.
Yes, she's muted.
That was from
Okay.
She's on there, but she's not. Hey,
Needs to-
Jenna.
She needs to unmute herself.
Gina, unmute.
Some people don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Jenna, lower left-hand corner. Just tap on the little microphone. I'm a born stage manager.
You're good.
You know, I used to stage manage all my shows.
I would imagine.
I did. Felice was there.
Yeah,
Hey,
she's
Felice.
muted.
Felice.
Hey, Jack,
Yes?
can you just type in Gina, unmute yourself?
Yeah.
if she's not unmuting herself, she probably doesn't know to check chat. Call her on the
And,
phone,
and
Tammy.
somebody still has the YouTube live, the volume on the YouTube live up because it's echoing. It's playing. So,
Hey,
Yeah,
Felice.
wait, that could be.
A hi-hat underwater.
Yeah.
My God. Jack, can you unmute Gina or not?
She's moving her mouth. I see her moving, but I think it's on her computer that she needs to unmute.
Right. But she,
I mean,
if you can unmute her, we could speak to her. Because people want to watch themselves. I don't know why they want to watch themselves. They have the computer on.
I know.
Watch yourself in a play.
Talking, but it's
And-
going on.
Oh,
Okay.
what information? Felice is muted.
No, I'm not.
No. Should I just call Gina and tell her to unmute herself?
Yes, phone her.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, I'm leaving for a sec.
Who's this kooky person?
and then somebody,
Is
I
there a
think,
way to determine where the feedback is coming from?
if somebody has the YouTube up and it's not muted, that's what makes it play back like that, echo like that.
Okay, I just texted her.
Will that help?
She said, I can't get sound. And I just wrote unmute. I just said unmute the mic.
You've got to explain to her where it is. Maybe she's never done this.
Yeah, she has because she takes class.
Oh, yeah?
Hold on, I'm calling.
Just lost you, Tammy.
Oh, shit. Okay, hold on.
We hear you, but we can't see you anymore.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah. Yeah, I just was gonna call Gina, but now it's supposed to say live on YouTube over on top, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
live
so-
on YouTube right now.
Yeah, because that's good. Should I call Gina?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll lose me for a sec, but I'll be right back.
God.
Oh, you know what? I can't.
Tell me her number. I'll call her.
Hold on. Okay. It's
So Tammy, if you could mute, if you have the YouTube live up, if you could mute it, because
yeah. I think I did. Yeah. Hold on, Penny. It's 646-373-4210.
It's Tammy's phone, isn't it?
Shit. All right. I don't know how do I do this?
Jenna, you
Or-
need to unmute
the
yourself.
other thing you could do, Tammy, is type it into the chat down here.
All right. Do you
Into
look
what?
at the bottom of the screen?
Oh yeah, I just
All the way to the left. You see the microphone?
I'm just gonna rejoin the meeting, I think. Oh.
So you're on YouTube then?
We are right now, yeah.
I don't know why you're there. We're on Zoom. All right, let just Jenna, 1 sec. Let me just relay this. Jack, she's on YouTube and she doesn't know how to unmute.
Okay.
Okay, is that better?
Tell her to just close her browser.
Close,
Just
wait a minute,
go
wait a
to
minute,
that.
wait a minute. I'm getting information for you. Just a second. Go ahead, Jack.
Tell her to just close the whole browser.
Close the whole browser.
Just exit. Yeah. Okay.
Quit it.
The window,
Yes.
yeah. Quit it.
Okay. I got rid of the echo at least.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry, I figured it out.
Okay. Now have Gina open the browser, not the YouTube, but a whole new open browser, just Google or whatever.
The window,
Open the email
open your email.
and click on the Zoom link, not the
Wait,
YouTube link.
Now,
the
hold
Zoom-
on, hold on, hold on.
Using-
Please, step by step, Jack.
I'm not going far.
Oh, it's okay.
All right, just listen, Jenna. All you have to do, Jenna, all you have to do is we're waiting for you to go in. So just go open your email. Okay. What can't you get out of? Look at, just go and go to the top and say new tab. Go to the, yeah. Okay, well then you don't need me. Okay, oh, okay. That's right. Zoom, the Zoom meeting, not the YouTube. Okay, good, good. I just want to tell you before you go there that when you look at you've done Zoom before, right? All right, so then you know at the bottom of the screen, there's a little microphone. I know, we understand because you're on YouTube. I'm simply saying that when you go to Zoom, be sure you go to unmute. That's all. Great. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, good. Punch it in. Right. You've done that 3 times? I mean, I had a hard time getting on 2 today. And usually it's very easy. It goes in the trash? Oh, into the downloads. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's see what we can do. How do we do this? What can we do? You know what? I'm gonna give the phone number to Jack. Jack, you want to take over?
I mean,
Jack-
I can try. I mean,
Oh, wait, she's saying something.
okay.
It says the meeting host will let you in soon.
Yes, I just.
Yes.
Happening. Okay, unmute.
Hallelujah.
Mm,
I am not a patient person.
You are.
I'm kind, but I am not a patient person.
neither is Blanche.
Yeah. Yes. Now we've created the tension at the
Yes,
beginning
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
now we can really do it.
I
Yeah.
need
It was-
I need a chiropractor immediate. My neck is guy.
Thank you, Blanche. It's all right.
All right.
All right. We on?
Stella.
Oh, hi, Blanche.
Stella the star.
Oh, now, is Gina here?
Let me
She's
look.
here, but she's still not talking.
Jenna,
Let's see.
Jenna. Uh-oh, where the fuck is she?
If Gina is not here, should we just start and then, if,
She's on almost
I can see her.
immediately.
Wow,
Mhm.
she's no longer on.
She's here. I mean, I see her in the Zoom.
I don't see it.
She's there, but she's looking
Oh.
down at the phone.
Yes.
Oh, I see her, yeah. Hey,
okay. Oh, I think let's just start, and if,
Okay.
if for some reason Gina will come on eventually, and if she doesn't by her lines, then maybe,
could just
Ryan could read the lines.
yeah. Good thinking.
Happy
What-
to. Remind me, what role is she doing?
She's Eunice.
And
Oh.
she has the first long scene.
She has the first fucking
Yeah.
long-
Wave at her and jump up and down.
All right, let me call her back. What the fuck is she doing?
She still doesn't hear you. That's what's happening.
I know
I
that's
know.
why I can talk this way.
I think she might have the sound down on her computer, which is separate from muting this.
Jenna, do you have the sound down on your computer? Can you raise the sound on your computer? No,
Now I hear her.
The
because
sound.
we cannot hear you. We're all talking to you and we cannot hear you.
She can't hear us.
There, I'm hearing her now. I'm hearing her now.
Yeah, I hear.
Okay.
But is that through Penny's phone?
Yeah, I think it's through Penny's phone. It's not.
So maybe she could just talk
I'll
through
do that.
Penny's phone?
I'll do that.
Maybe Penny could just, Gina,
Yeah.
can you just talk through Penny's phone until,
There'll be a delay.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you're right.
All right. Yeah, so we're trying to figure out why we can't hear you.
Can ask if you can hear us.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you on the phone. I cannot hear you on the screen.
You can't.
The-
And if,
no.
and have you raised the sound on your keyboard?
See where that is.
It's when you want it to be louder. Yeah,
It's max.
it's at max.
Okay.
And does it say you're muted?
She would show us muted on here if she was muted.
Okay.
Um,
No, you're not because
all I
it,
can say is this screen does not look like the screen that I use every Monday.
Poor
I know,
Julie.
but you,
That has a mic.
all right, you don't have a mic on the bottom of your screen?
I do
The-
not. I have
If you touch, Gina, if you touch the screen, the mic will show up.
I'm sorry.
Touch the screen. Just touch the
Touch the screen and the mic will show up on the left, the lower left-hand side.
move the cursor on the computer. It's not touch
Mhm.
Use
the
your cursor.
cursor.
Touch the screen with your cursor and the mic will show up.
Well, I've done that and nothing shows up.
Do you have the gallery of
All
people?
right, everybody.
up top?
We
Okay.
we're at 5:30, so we need to start.
Okay, we're,
No, I know. I feel like a fool.
Well,
no,
stop-
don't worry, Gina.
I'm feeling like
It's
a fool.
okay. Let's just,
Hey,
just-
can't she say her lines like this?
yes,
Sure.
totally.
You can
Yes.
do your lines on my phone and we'll broadcast it.
All right.
Okay, we're
Okay.
starting.
Do you have your script?
I have everything.
All right. so
Okay, we
breath.
can hear you.
take
All
a
right.
breath.
A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. A very unorthodox reading of Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named
Yeah. Did you like that new prologue that we have?
Desire. I do, yeah.
Okay, great.
All
See-
right.
Only on the phone.
Just be ready.
Just talk.
We're starting now. So
We're
do
starting.
do a sound check, please, Jenna.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Good.
I'm
Let's
Okay.
go.
You're good. Okay. We're
Okay,
good.
let's go.
All right.
Thank
Scene
you.
one.
Thank you, Penny.
The exterior of a two-story corner building on a street in New Orleans, which is named Elysian Fields and runs between the left and north tracks and the river. The section is poor, but unlike corresponding sections in other American cities, it has a raffish charm. The houses are mostly white frame, weathered gray, with rickety outside stairs and galleries and quaintly ornamented gables. This building contains 2 flats, an upstairs and a down. Faded white stairs ascend to the entrance of both. It is the first dark of an evening early in May. The sky that shows around the dim white building is peculiarly tender blue, almost a turquoise, which invests the scene with a kind of lyricism and graceful attenuates the atmosphere of decay. You can almost feel the warm breath of the brown river beyond the river warehouses, and with their faint redolence of bananas and coffee. 2 women, one white, one of color, are taking the air on the steps of the building. The white woman is Eunice, who occupies the upstairs flat. The woman of color is a neighbor from New Orleans, in a cosmopolitan city where there is a relatively warm and easy intermingling of races in the old part of town. Above the music of the blue piano, the voices of people on the street can be heard overlapping. Two men come around the corner, Stanley, Kowalski, and Mitch. They are about 28 and 30 years old. Roughly dressed in blue denim work clothes, Stanley carries his bowling jacket and red-stained package from the butcher. They stop at the foot of the steps.
Hey there, Stella, baby.
Don't holler at me like that. Hi, Mitch.
Catch.
What?
Meat.
Stanley, where are you going?
Bowling.
Can I come watch?
Come on.
Be over soon. Hello, Eunice. How are you? Eunice?
Hi.
Hi.
Get him a Pablo sandwich, because nothing's left here.
What was that package he threw at her?
You hush now.
That's what?
She continues to laugh. Blanche comes around the corner, carrying a valise. She looks at a slip of paper, then at the building, then again at the slip, and again at the building. Her expression is one of shocked disbelief. Her appearance is incongruous to this setting. She is daintily dressed in a white suit with a fluffy bodice, necklace, and earrings of pearl, white gloves and hat. She is about 5 years older than Stella. Her delicate beauty must avoid a strong light. There is something about her uncertain manner, as well as her white clothes, that suggests a moth.
What's the matter, honey? Are you lost?
Well, they told me to take a streetcar named Desire, then transfer to one called Cemeteries, and ride 6 blocks and get off at Elysian Fields.
That's where you are.
Elysian Fields?
This is Elysian Fields.
Well, they must have haven't understood what number I wanted.
Well, what number are you looking for?
632.
You don't have to look no further.
I'm looking for my sister, Stella DuBois. I mean, Mrs. Stanley Kowalski.
That's the party. But you just missed it, though.
This? Can this be her home?
She got the downstairs, and I got the up.
Oh, she's out?
You notice that bowling alley around the corner?
I'm not sure I did. No.
Well, that's where she's at, watching her husband bowl. You want to leave your suitcase here and go look for her?
No.
I'll go tell her you come.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
She wasn't expecting you?
No, not tonight.
Well, why don't you just go in and make yourself at home and till she gets back?
Well, how could I do that?
Oh, well, we own this place, so I can let you in.
She gets up and opens the downstairs door. A light goes on behind the blind, turning it into light blue. Blanche slowly follows her into the downstairs flat. The surrounding area is dim, out as the interior is lighted. 2 rooms can be seen, not too clearly defined. The one first entered is primarily a kitchen that contains a folding bed used by Blanche. The room beyond this is a bedroom. Off this room is a narrow door to a bathroom.
It's kind of messed up right now, but when it's clean, it's real sweet.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. I think so. You're Blanche's sister.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me in.
Por nada, as the Mexicans say, por nada. Stella spoke of you.
Yes?
And I think she said that you taught school.
Yes.
And you're from Mississippi, huh?
Yes.
She showed me a picture of your home place, the plantation.
Belle Reed?
Great big columns.
Yes.
A place like that must be awful hard to keep up.
If you will excuse me, I'm just about to drop.
Sure, honey, why don't you sit down?
No, what I meant was I would like to be left alone.
Oh, well, I'll make myself scarce. In that case.
I didn't mean to be rude, but
I'll drop by the bowling alley and tell her, hustle her up.
Blanche sits in a chair very stiffly, with her shoulders slightly hunched and her legs pressed close together, and her hands tightly clutching her purse, as if she were quite cold. She carefully replaces a whiskey bottle, which she has taken out, and washes out the tumbler at the sink. Then she resumes her seat in front of the table.
I have got to get a hold of myself.
Stella enters quickly around the corner of the building and runs to the door of the downstairs flat.
Blanche!
Oh, Stella! Oh, Stella! Stella! Stella for star! Oh, let me look at you. But don't you look at me, Stella. No, not till later. Not till I've bathed and rested and turn off that over light. Just turn it off. I will not be looked at in this merciless glare. Oh, come back here now. Come back here. Oh, my baby. Stella, Stella, Stella for star. I thought you would never come back to this horrible place. Oh, what am I saying? I didn't mean to say that. I meant to be nice about it and say, oh, what a convenient location and such. Precious lamb, you haven't said a word to me.
You haven't given me a chance to, honey.
Well, now you talk. Open your pretty mouth and talk while I look for some liquor. I know you must have some liquor on the place. Where could it be, I wonder? Oh, I spy.
Blanche, you sit down and let me pour the drinks. I don't know what I've got to mix with. Maybe there's a Coke in the icebox. Let's see, honey, while I...
No Coke, honey. No, not with my nerves tonight. Now, where is...
Oh, Stanley, bowling. He loves it. They're having... I found some soda tournament.
Just water, baby, to chase it. Now, don't get worried. Your sister has not turned into a drunkard. She's just all shaken up and hot and tired and dirty. Now, you sit down now and explain this place to me. What are you doing in a place like this?
Now, Blanche...
I'm not going to be hypocritical. I'm going to be honestly critical about it. Never in my worst dreams could I imagine only Mr. Edgar Allan Poe could do it justice. I mean, out there, I suppose, is the ghoul-haunted woodland of wire.
No, honey, those are the L&N tracks.
No, now seriously, putting joking aside, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you write me, honey? Why didn't you let me know?
Tell you what, Blanche.
Why that you have to live in these conditions?
Aren't you being a little intense about it? It's not that bad at all. New Orleans isn't like other cities.
This has got nothing to do with New Orleans. You might as well say, forgive me, blessed baby. The subject's closed.
Thanks.
You're all I've got in the world, and you're not glad to see me.
Oh, why, Blanche, you know that's not true.
No? I've forgotten how quiet you were.
You never did give me a chance to say much, Blanche, so I kind of got in the habit of being quiet around you.
Good habit to get into. You haven't asked me how I happened to get away from school before the spring term ended.
Well, I thought you'd volunteer that information if you wanted to tell me.
You thought I'd been fired?
No, I thought you might have resigned.
I was so exhausted by all I've been through. My nerves broke. I was on the verge of lunacy almost. So Mr. Graves is the high school superintendent. He suggested I take a leave of absence. I couldn't put all those details into the wire. This buzzes right through me and feels so good.
Won't you have another?
One's my limit.
You sure?
You haven't said a word about my appearance.
You look just fine.
Oh, God love you for a liar. Daylight never exposed, so total a ruin. But you put on some weight. Yes, you are just as plump as a little partridge, and it is so becoming to you.
Now, Blanche.
Yes, it is. It is, or I wouldn't say it. You just have to watch around the hips a little. Stand up.
Not now.
Oh, you hear me? I said stand up. You messy child, you've spilled something on that pretty white lace collar. About your hair, you know, you ought to have it cut in a feather bob to go with your dainty features. Stella, you have a maid, don't you?
Well, no, with only 2 rooms. It's...
What? 2 rooms, did you say?
This one and...
The other one? Look, I'm just going to take one more little tiny nip more, sort of, to put the stopper on, so to speak. Then just put the bottle away so I won't be tempted. I want you to look at my figure. You know, I haven't put on 1 ounce in 10 years, Stella. I weigh what I weighed the summer you left Belle Reeve. The summer Dad died and you left us.
It's just incredible, Blanche, how well you're looking.
But Stella, there's only 2 rooms. I don't see where you're going to put me.
We're going to put you in here.
Oh, what kind of bed is this? One of those collapsible things?
Does it feel all right?
Wonderful, honey. I don't like a bed that gives much. But there's no door between the 2 rooms, and Stanley, will it be decent?
Stanley is Polish, you know.
Oh, yes. They're something like the Irish, aren't they?
Well,
only not so highbrow. I bought some nice clothes to meet all your lovely friends in.
I'm afraid you will not think they are lovely.
What are they like?
Well, they're Stanley's friends.
Polacks?
They're a mixed lot, Blanche.
Heterogeneous types?
Yes. Yes, types is right.
Well, anyhow, I bought nice clothes and I'll wear them. I guess you're hoping I'll say I'll put up at a hotel, but I'm not going to put up at a hotel. I want to be near you. You know, I got to be with somebody. I can't be alone because, well, as you must have noticed, I'm not very well.
You do seem a little nervous or overwrought or something.
Will Stanley like me, or will I be just a visiting in-law? Stella, I couldn't stand that.
You'll get along fine together if you'll just try not to, well, compare him to the men that we went out with at home.
Is he so different?
Yes, different species.
In what way? What's he like?
Oh, you can't describe someone you're in love with. Here's a picture of him.
An officer?
Master Sergeant in the Engineer Corps. Those are decorations.
He had those on when you met him.
I assure you I was not blinded by all the brass.
That's not what
No, of course, there were things I had to adjust myself to later on.
Such as his civilian background. How did he take it when you said I was coming?
Oh, Stanley doesn't know yet.
Haven't told him?
Well, he's on the road a good deal.
Oh? Travels?
Yes.
Good. I mean, isn't it?
I can hardly stand it when he's away for a night.
Why, Stella?
When he's away for a week, I nearly go wild.
Gracious.
And when he comes back, I cry in his lap like a baby.
Well, I guess that is what is meant by being in love. Stella.
What?
I haven't asked you the things you probably thought I was gonna ask you. So I'll expect you to be understanding about what I have to tell you.
Well, what, Blanche?
Well, Stella, you're gonna reproach me. I know that you are bound to reproach me, but before you do, take into consideration, you left. I stayed and struggled. You came to New Orleans and look out for yourself. I stayed at Verhaeghe and I tried to hold it together. Look, I'm not meaning this. I'm not meaning this in any reproachful way, but all the burden descended on my shoulders.
Well, the best I could do was make my own living, Blanche.
I know, but you're the one that abandoned Verhaeghe, not I. I stayed and fought for it, bled for it, almost died for it.
Will you stop this hysterical outburst and tell me what's happened? What do you mean fought and bled? What?
I knew you would. Stella, I knew you would take this attitude about it.
About what, please?
The loss. The loss.
Verhaeghe? Lost, is it?
Yes, Stella.
No. Oh. But how did it go? What happened?
Oh, you're a fine one to ask me how it went.
Blanche.
You're a fine one to sit there accusing me of it.
Blanche.
I took the blows in my face, in my body, all those deaths, the long parade to the graveyard, father, mother, Margaret, that dreadful way, so big with it, it couldn't be put in a coffin, but had to be burned like rubbish. You just come home in time for the funeral, Stella, and funerals are pretty compared to deaths. Funerals are quiet, but deaths, not always. Sometimes their breathing is hoarse, and sometimes it rattles, and sometimes they even cry out to you, "Don't let me go." Even the old sometimes say, "Don't let me go," as if you were able to stop them. But funerals are quiet, with pretty flowers, and oh, what gorgeous boxes they pack them away in. Unless you were there at the bed when they cried out, "Hold me," you never suspect there was a struggle for breath and bleeding. You didn't dream, but I saw. And now you sit there telling me with your eyes that I let the place go? How in the hell do you think all that sickness and dying was paid for? Death is expensive, Miss Stella. And old cousin Jesse's right after Margaret hurt, why the Grim Reaper had put up his tent on our doorstep. Stella Belle Reve was his headquarters. Honey, that's how it slipped through my fingers. Which of them left us a fortune? Which of them left a cent of insurance even? Only poor Jessie 100 to pay for a coffin. That was all, Stella. And I with my pitiful salary at the school. Yeah, accuse me. Sit there and stare at me thinking, I let the place go. I let the place go. Where were you? In bed with your Pollock?
Blanche, you be still. That's enough.
Hey, where are you going?
I'm going in the bathroom to wash my face.
Oh, Stella, you're crying.
Does it surprise you?
Forgive me, I didn't mean to.
Sound of a men's voice is heard. Stella goes into the bathroom, closing the door behind her. When the men appear and Blanche realizes it must be Stanley returning, she moves uncertainly from the bathroom door to the dressing table, looking apprehensively towards the front door. Stanley enters, followed by Steve and Mitch. Stanley pauses near his door. Steve by the foot of the spiral stair, and Mitch is slightly above and to the right of them, about to go out. As the men enter, we hear some of the following dialogue.
Oh, is that how he got it?
Sure, that's how he got it. You get the old Weatherbird for $300 on a 6-number ticket.
Don't tell him those things, he'll believe it.
Mitch, come back here.
Hey, are we playing poker tomorrow?
Sure, Mitch's.
No, not at my place. My mother's still sick.
Okay, at my place, but you bring the beer.
Good night, all.
Hey, I told you phone we was playing Jack's beer.
You never phoned me once.
I told you at breakfast and phone you at lunch.
Well, you never mind about that. You just get yourself home here once in a while.
What, you wanted the papers?
More laughter and shouts of pairing come from the men. Stanley throws the screen door of the kitchen open and comes in. He is of medium height, about 5'8" or 9, and strongly, compactly built. Animal joy is being his implicit in all his movements and attitudes. Since earliest manhood, the center of his life has been pleasure with women, the giving and taking of it, not with weak indulgence, dependently, but with the power and pride of a richly female bird among hens. Branching out from this complete and satisfying center are all the auxiliary channels of his life, such as his heartiness with men, his appreciation of rough humor, his love of good drink and food, and games, his car, radio, everything that is his, that bears his emblem of the gaudy seed bearer. He sizes women up at a glance with sexual classifications, crude images flashing into his mind, and determining the way he smiles at them.
You must be Stanley. I'm Blanche.
Stella's sister.
Yes,
Hello, where's the little woman?
in the bathroom.
I didn't know you were coming to town. Where are you from, Blanche?
I live in Laurel.
Laurel, huh? Oh, yeah. Not my territory. Liquor goes fast in hot weather. Have a shot?
Oh no, I rarely touch it.
Some people rarely touch it, but it touches them often. My clothes are sticking to me. Do you mind if I make myself comfortable?
Oh, please do.
Be comfortable is my motto.
It's mine too. Hard to stay looking fresh. I haven't washed or even powdered my face. Here you are.
You know, you can catch cold sitting around in damp things, especially when you've been exercising hard like bowling. You're a teacher, aren't you?
Yeah. English.
I was never a very good English student. How long you been here for?
I don't don't know yet.
You got a shack up here?
Well, I thought I would if it's not inconvenient for y'all.
Good.
Oh, traveling wears me out.
We'll take it easy.
What's that?
Cats. Hey, Stella.
Yes, Stanley.
You haven't fallen in, have you? I'm afraid I'll track you as the unrefined type. Stella spoke of you a good deal. You were married once, weren't you?
Yes, when I was quite young.
What happened?
The boy died. I'm afraid I'm gonna be sick.
Scene 2. It is 6 o'clock the following night. Blanche is bathing. Stella is completing her toilet. Blanche is dressed, flowered pink, laid out on Stella's bed. Stanley enters the kitchen from outside, leaving the door open on the perpetual blue piano around the corner.
What's all this monkey do?
Oh, Stan. I'm taking Blanche to Galatoire's for supper and then to a show because it's her poker night.
Well, how about my supper? I'm not going to bed for supper.
Well, I put the place for you on ice.
Well, isn't that just dandy?
I'm gonna try and keep Blanche out till the party breaks up because I don't know how she would take it. So we'll go to one of those places in the quarter afterwards, and you better give me some money.
Where's she?
Oh, she's soaking in a hot tub to quiet her nerves. She's terribly upset.
Over what?
Well, she's been through an ordeal.
Yeah?
Stan, we've lost Belrive.
Place in the country?
Yes.
How?
Oh, it had to be sacrificed or something. When she comes in, be sure to say something nice about her appearance, and oh, don't mention the baby. Please, I haven't said anything yet, and I'm waiting till she gets in a quieter condition.
So?
And try and understand her and be nice to her, Stan.
From the land of the blue sky water, they brought a captive maid.
She wasn't expecting to find us in such a small place. I tried to gloss things over a little in my letters.
So?
And admire her dress and tell her she's looking wonderful. That's important with Blanche, her little weakness.
Yeah, I get the idea. Now, let's get back a little to where the country place was disposed of.
Oh, yes.
How about that? Let's have a few more details on that subject.
It's best not to talk about it until she's calmed down, okay?
So my sister Blanche cannot be annoyed with business details right now.
You saw how she was last night.
I saw how she was. Now, let's have a gander at the bill of sale.
I haven't seen any.
He didn't show you no paper, deed of sale, or nothing like that, huh?
It seems like it wasn't sold.
What in the hell was it then? Give away charity?
She'll hear you.
I don't care if she hears me. Let's see the paper.
There weren't any papers. You didn't show any papers. I don't care about papers.
Have you ever heard of the Napoleonic Code?
No, Stanley, I haven't heard of the Napoleonic Code, and if I have, I don't see what it has to...
Let me enlighten you on the point of view, baby.
Yes.
In the state of Louisiana, we have the Napoleonic Code, according to which what belongs to the wife belongs to the husband, vice versa. For instance, if I had a piece of property, you had a piece of property.
Yes. My head is swimming.
All right, I'll wait till she gets through soaking in a hot tub, and then I'll inquire if she is acquainted with the Napoleonic Code. Because it looks to me like you have been swindled, baby. And when you're swindled under the Napoleonic Code, I'm swindled too, and I don't like to be swindled.
Well, there's plenty of time to ask her questions, but if you do, she'll go to pieces again. I don't understand what happened to Belrive, but you don't know how ridiculous you're being when you suggest that my sister or anyone in our family could have perpetrated a swindle or on anyone else.
Then where's the money if the place was sold?
Not sold, lost. Lost. Stanley!
Open your eyes to the stuff. You think she got them out of a teacher's pay?
Hush!
Look at these feathers and furs that she come here to preen herself in. What's this here? A solid gold dress, I believe. And this one, what is these here? Fox pieces. Genuine fox fur pieces, a half a mile long. Where are your fox pieces, Stella?
Those are inexpensive summer furs that Blanche has had a long
Where are
time.
your white fox pieces?
Those are inexpensive summer furs that Blanche has had a long time.
I got an acquaintance who deals in this sort of merchandise. I'll have him here to appraise it. I'm willing to bet you there's thousands of dollars invested in this stuff here.
Don't be such an idiot, Stanley.
And what have we here? A treasure chest of a pirate.
Oh, Stanley.
Pearls, ropes of them. What is this sister of yours? A deep sea diver? Bracelets of solid gold too. Where are your pearls? Gold bracelets.
Be still, Stanley.
Crown for an empress.
A rhinestone tiara she wore to a costume ball.
What's rhinestone?
Next door to glass.
Are you kidding? Now, I have an acquaintance that works in a jewelry store, and I have him in here to make an appraisal of this. Here's your plantation, or what's left of it here.
You have no idea how stupid and horrid you're being. Now close that trunk before she comes out of the bathroom.
The Kowalskis and the DuBois have different notions.
Indeed, they have, thank heavens. I'm going outside. You come out with me while Blanche is getting dressed.
Since when do you give me orders?
Are you going to stay here and insult her?
Damn tootin' I'm going to stay here.
Stella goes out to the porch. Blanche comes out of the bathroom in a red satin robe. Tammy's muted.
I'm muted?
No, you're not. Penny's muted.
It's Blanche's line.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Hello, Stanley. Here I am, all freshly bathed and scented, feeling like a brand new human being.
Well, that's good.
Excuse me while I slip on my pretty new dress.
Go right ahead, Blanche.
I understand there's to be a little card party to which we ladies are cordially not invited.
Yeah,
Where's Stella?
out on the porch.
I'm gonna ask a favor of you in a moment.
What could that be, I wonder?
Some buttons in the back. You may enter. How do I look?
Look all right.
Many thanks. Now the buttons.
I can't do nothing with them.
Oh, you men with your big clumsy fingers. May I have a drag on your cig? Why, thanks. Whew. It looks like my trunk has exploded.
Me and Stella was helping you unpack.
Well, you certainly did a fast and thorough job of it.
It's like you raided some stylish shops in Paris.
Yes, clothes are my passion.
What does it cost for a string of fur pieces like that?
Why, those were a tribute from an admirer of mine.
Well, he must have had a lot of admiration.
Oh, well, in my youth, I excited some admiration. But look at me now. Would you think it possible that I was once considered attractive?
It's okay.
I was fishing for a compliment, Stanley.
I don't go in for that stuff.
What stuff?
Compliments to women about the looks. I never met a woman who didn't know if she was good looking or not without being told. Some of them give themselves credit for more than they've got. I once went out with a doll who said to me, I am the glamorous type. I am the glamorous type. And I said, so what?
And what did she say then?
Didn't say nothing. That shut her up like a clam.
Did it end the romance?
Get into the conversation. That was all. Some men are took in by this Hollywood glamour stuff, and some men are not.
I'm sure you belong in the second category.
That's right.
I cannot imagine any witch of a woman casting a spell over you.
That's right.
You're simple, straightforward, and honest. A little bit on the primitive side, I should think. To interest you, a woman would have to.
Lay her cards on the table.
Well, I never cared for wishy-washy people. That was why when you walked in here last night, I said to myself, my sister has married a man. Of course, that's all I could tell about you.
Now let's cut the rebop.
Ooh.
Stanley, you come out here and let Blanche finish dressing.
I'm through dressing, honey.
Well, you come out then.
Your sister and I are having a little talk.
Hey, honey, you do me a favor? Run to the drugstore and get me a lemon Coke with plenty of chipped ice in it. Will you do that for me, sweetie?
Yes.
Poor little thing was out there listening to us, and I have an idea she doesn't understand you as well as I do. All right now, Mr. Kowalski, let us proceed without any more double talk. I am ready to answer all questions. I've got nothing to hide. What is it?
There is such a thing in this state of Louisiana as the Napoleonic Code, according to which whatever belongs to my wife is also mine, and vice versa.
My, but you have an impressive judicial air.
If I didn't know that you was my wife's sister, I'd get ideas about you.
Such as what?
Don't play so dumb. You know what.
Oh, well, all right. Cards on the table. That suits me. Look, I know I fib a good deal. After all, a woman's charm is 50% illusion. But when a thing is important, I tell the truth. And this is the truth. I haven't cheated my sister or you or anyone else as long as I have lived.
Where's the papers? In the trunk?
Everything I own's in that trunk. What in the name of heaven? Oh, what in the name of heaven? Sorry. Okay. What in the name of heaven are you thinking of? What's in the back of that little boy mind of yours? That I'm absconding with something, attempting some kind of treachery on my sister? Let me do that. It will be faster and simpler. I keep my papers mostly in this tin box.
What's them underneath?
These are love letters, yellowing with antiquity, and all from one boy.
I'll have a look at them first.
Give me those back. The touch of your hands insults them.
Don't pull that stuff.
Now that you've touched them, I will burn them.
What the hell are they?
Poems a dead boy wrote. I hurt him in the way you would like to hurt me, but you can't. I'm not young and vulnerable anymore, but my young husband was, and I will never mind about that. Just give them back to me.
What do you mean by saying you'll have to burn them?
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have lost my head for a moment. Everyone has something he won't let others touch because of their intimate nature.
Blanche now seems faint with exhaustion and sits down with the strong box and puts on a pair of glasses and goes methodically through a large bunch of papers.
Ambler and Ambler. Crab, more Ambler. What is Ambler and Ambler?
a firm that made loans on the place?
Oh, then it was lost on the mortgage.
Well, that must have been what happened.
I don't want no ifs, ands, or buts. What's all the rest of them papers?
There are thousands of papers stretching back over hundreds of years, affecting Belrive as piece by piece our improvident grandfathers and father and uncles and brothers exchanged the land for their epic fornications, to put it bluntly. The four-letter word deprived us of our plantation, till finally all that was left, and Stella can verify that, was the house itself and about 20 acres of ground, including a graveyard, to which now all but Stella and I have retreated. Here's all of them, all papers. I hereby endow you with them. Take them, peruse them, commit them to memory. Even, I think it's wonderfully fitting that Belrive should finally be this bunch of old papers in your big, capable hands. Oh, I wonder if Stella's come back with my lemon cup.
I have a lawyer friend who study these out.
Present them to him with a box of aspirin tablets.
You see, under the Napoleonic Code, a man has to take an interest in his wife's affairs, especially now that she's going to have a baby.
Stella? Stella gonna have a baby?
She sets up and crosses the
I
house.
didn't know she was gonna have a baby.
Stella appears around the corner with a carton from the drugstore. Stanley goes into the bedroom with the envelope and box. The inner rooms fade to darkness, and the outside wall of the house is visible. Blanche meets Stella at the foot of the steps to the side.
Stella for star. How lovely to have a baby.
I'm sorry.
Everything's all right.
I'm sorry he did that to you.
Oh, I guess he's not the type that goes to Jasmine perfume. But maybe he's what we need to mix with our blood now that we've lost Belrive. We thrashed it out. I was feeling a bit shaky, but I think I handled it nicely. I laughed and I treated it all as a joke. I called him a little boy and laughed and flirted. Yes, I was flirting with your husband. The guests are gathering for the poker party. Which way do we go now, Stella? This way?
No, this way.
The blind are leading the blind.
Red hot.
Scene 3, the poker night. There is a picture of Benjamin of a billiard player night. The kitchen now suggests a sort of lurid nocturnal brilliance, the raw colors of childhood spectrum. Over the yellow kitchen table hangs an electric bulb with a vivid green glass shade. Poker players, Stanley, Steve, Mitch, and Pablo, with colored shirts, solid blues, a purple, a red and white check, a light green, and their men at the peak of their physical manhood. Of course, and direct and colorful as the primary color. The bedroom is relatively dim, only the light that fills between quarters and through the wide window of the street. For a moment, there is an absorbed silence as a hand is dealt.
So, what night Jack's so wild? Two cards. Mitch?
I'm out.
And one. And
Anyone want to shot?
Yeah, me.
why don't somebody go to the China Dish and bring a load of chop suey?
Yeah, when I'm losing, you want to eat. Ante up. Openers. Get your ass off the table, Mitch. Nothing belongs on the poker table but cards, chips, and biscuits.
Well, on a high horse, ain't you?
How many?
Give me three.
I'm out of gas. I ought to go home pretty soon.
Shut up.
I got to sleep with Mother. She don't go to sleep until I come in at night.
Why don't you stay home with her?
She says to go out, so I'll go, but I don't enjoy it. All the while, I keep wondering how she is.
Oh, just go home then.
Okay, what have you got? Spade
Spade.
flush.
You all are married, but I'll be alone when she goes. I'm going to the bathroom.
Well, hurry back and we'll fix you a sugar tit.
Oh, go Raj.
Tevin cart stud. This old farmer's out in the back of the house, sitting down, throwing corn to the chickens, when all at once he hears a loud cackle, and this young hen comes lickety split around the side of the house, with Brewster right behind her and gaining on her fast.
Deal.
When the rooster catches sight of the farmer throwing the corn, he puts the brakes on, let the hen get away, and starts pecking corn. And old farmer says, "Lord God, I hope I never gets that hungry." The game is still going on. The game is still going on.
Oh, how do I look?
Lovely Blanche.
Feel so hot and frazzled. Wait till I powder my nose before you open the door. Do I look done in?
No, fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, one that's been picked a few days.
Well, I see you boys are still at it.
Where you been?
Blanche and I took in a show. Blanche, this is Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Hubble.
Please don't get up.
Nobody's gonna get up, so don't be worried.
How much longer are you going to continue?
We get ready to.
Poker is so fascinating. Could I kip it?
Could not. Why don't women go up and sit with Eunice?
Because it is nearly 2:30. Couldn't we call it quits after just one hand? Ow, that's not fun, Stanley. Makes me so mad when he does that in front of people.
I think I'll pay you.
Again?
Oh, my nerves are in knots. Is the bathroom occupied?
I don't know.
Oh, good evening.
Hello.
Blanche, this is Harold Mitchell, my sister Blanche DuBois.
How do you do, Miss DuBois?
How's your mother now, Mitch?
About the same, thanks. She appreciated your sending over that puzzle. Excuse me, please.
Are you going to read the Jack? What happened to Jack?
I don't know.
Jack, are you going to
I'm trying to let James back in.
Huh?
He crosses over back into the kitchen, glancing back at Blanche and coughing a little shyly. He realizes he still has the towel in his hand, and with an embarrassed laugh, Blanche looks after him with a certain interest.
That one seems superior to the others.
Yes, he is.
I thought he had a sort of sensitive look.
His mother is sick.
Is he married?
No.
Is he a wolf?
Why, Blanche? I don't think he will be.
Well, what does he do?
He's on the precision bench in the spare parts department at the plant Stanley travels for.
Is that something much?
No, Stanley's the only one of his crowd that's likely to get anywhere.
What makes you think Stanley will?
Look at him.
I've looked at him.
Then you should know.
I'm sorry, but I have not noticed the stamp of genius even on Stanley's forehead.
It isn't on his forehead, and it isn't genius.
Oh, well, what is it and where? I would like to know.
It's a drive he has. You're standing in the light, Blanche.
Oh, am I?
You ought to see their wives.
I can imagine. Big beef things, I suppose.
You know, the one upstairs. One time, the plaster.
Ian's cut out that conversation. Yeah.
You can't hear us.
Well, you can hear me, and I said to hush up.
This is my house, and I'll talk as much as I want to.
Oh, Stella, don't start a row.
He's half drunk. I'll be out in a minute.
All right, Mitch, you in?
Well, no, I'm out. No.
Blanche
Who
slipped
turned
back in.
that on in there?
I did. Do you mind?
Turn it off.
Jack, you read this.
Oh, let the girls have their fun. Sure, let's go. Leave it on. Sounds like Xavier Cougar.
But Stanley jumps up and crosses to the radio and turns it off. He stops short at the sight of Blanche in the chair. She returns his look without flinching. Then he sits back at the poker table. Two of the men have started arguing hotly. I didn't hear you name it.
Didn't I name it? I named it, Mitch.
I wasn't listening.
What were you doing then?
He was looking through them drapes. Now deal the hand over again and let's play cards or quit. Some people get ants. Sit down.
I'm going ahead. Do me out.
Sure. He's got the ants now. 7 $5 bills in his pants, and he folded up like little spitballs.
Or you'll see him at the cashier's window getting them changed into quarters.
And when he goes home, he'll deposit them one by one in a piggy bank his mother gave him for Christmas. This game is spit in the ocean.
Hello? Little boy's room is busy right now.
We've been drinking beer.
I hate you.
It's hot weather drink.
Oh, I don't think so. It always makes me warmer. Have you got any sticks?
Sure.
Oh, what kind are they?
They're Luckies.
Oh, good. What a pretty case. Silver?
Yes. Read the inscription.
Oh, is there an inscription? I can't make it out. Oh, and if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. Why, that's from my favorite sonnet by Mrs. Brown.
You know it?
Certainly I do.
There's a story connected with that inscription.
Sounds like a romance.
Pretty sad one.
Oh,
The girl is dead now.
oh.
Mrs. Stahlnecker gave me this in a very strange, very sweet, very.
She must have been very fond of you. Big people have such deep, sincere attachments.
That's right, they certainly do.
Sorrow makes the sincerity of it.
It sure brings it out in people.
The little thing there is belongs. The little thing there is belongs to people who have experienced some sorrow.
I believe you were right about that.
I'm positive that I am. Show me a person that hasn't known any sorrow, and I will show you a superficial. Listen to me. My tongue is a little thick. You boys are responsible for it. The show let out at 11, and we couldn't come home on account of the poker game, so we had to go somewhere and drink. I'm not accustomed to having more than one drink. 2 is the limit, and 3? Tonight, I had 3.
Bitch!
Deal me out. I'm talking to
DuBois.
Miss DuBois.
It's a French name. It means wood, and Blanche means white. So the 2 together mean white wood. Like an orchard in spring, you can remember it by that.
You're French?
We're French by extraction. Our first American ancestors were French Huguenots.
You are Stella's sister, are you not?
Yes, Stella is my precious little sister. I call her little in spite of the fact she's somewhat older than I, just slightly less than a year. Will you do something for me?
Do what?
I bought this adorable little colored paper lantern at a Chinese shop on Bourbon. Can you put it up over the light bulb, please?
Be glad to.
I cannot stand a naked light bulb any more than I can a rude remark or a vulgar action.
I guess we strike you as being a pretty rough bunch.
I'm very adaptable to circumstance.
Well, that's a good thing to be. You are visiting Tammy and Stella.
Oh, Stella hasn't been so well lately, and I come down to help her for a while. She's very run down.
You're not.
Married? No. I'm an old maid school teacher.
You may teach school, but you're certainly not an old maid.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your gallantry.
So you are in the teaching profession.
Yes, yes.
Grade school or high school or grade school or high school or coming?
Mitch.
Coming.
Gracious, what lung power. I teach high school in Laurel.
What do you teach? What subject?
Guess.
I bet you teach art or music. Of course, I could be wrong. You might teach arithmetic.
Never arithmetic, sir. Never arithmetic. I don't even know my multiplication tables. No, I have the misfortune of being an English instructor. I attempt to instill a bunch of Bobby Soxers and drugstore Romeos with reverence for Hawthorne and Whitman and Poe.
I guess that some of them are more interested in other things.
Oh, how right you are. Their literary heritage is not what most of them treasure above all else. But they're sweet things, and in the spring, it's touching to notice them making their first discovery of love, as if nobody had ever known it before. Oh, have I finished? Have you finished? Oh, wait, I'll turn on the radio.
He turns the knob on the radio and it begins to play Wine, Wine, Nur Verhaeghe. Blanche waltzes to the music with romantic gestures. Mitch is delighted and moves in awkward imitation like a dancing bear. Stanley stalks fiercely through the quarters into the bedroom. He crosses to the small white radio and snatches it off the table. With a shouted oath, he tosses the instrument out the window.
Drunk, you animal thing, you. All of you, please go home. If you have any shred of decency in you.
Ella, watch out, he's...
Take it easy, take it easy.
Easy. Let's all.
You lay your hands on me, and I will.
My sister is gonna have a baby.
This is terrible.
Oh, Lucy, it's absolutely lunacy.
Get him in here, man.
Oh,
I want to go away. I want to go away.
Poker shouldn't be played in the house with women.
I want my sister's clothes. We'll go to that woman upstairs.
Where's the clothes?
I've got them. Oh, Stella, Stella, precious, dear, dear little sister. Don't be afraid.
What's the matter? What happened?
Do your top, Tom.
He's okay now.
Put him on the bed and get a wet towel.
I think coffee would do him a world of good now.
I want water.
Put him under the shower.
All right, let's put him on the shower.
Let the rest go of me, you sons of bitches.
Poker should not be played in a house with women.
Door closes on them and the place is still. The black entertainers in the bar around the corner play paper doll, glow and blue. After a moment, Stanley comes out of the bathroom, dripping water and still in a clean white polka dot drawer.
Stella, my baby doll's left me. Eunice, I want my baby. Eunice, I'll keep on ringing until I talk with my baby. Stella. I want my baby down here. Stella. Stella.
Coming down there till you quit. You get the whole thing up, you.
Stella.
Can't beat on a woman and then call her back. She won't come. And I ain't going to have a baby. You stinker. You Pollock, you. I hope they do hand you to the cops. Turn the files on you. Same as they did the last time. And her having a baby.
Eunice, I want my girl to come down with me. Stella!
A low-tone clarinet moans. The door upstairs opens again. Stella slips down the rickety stairs in her robe. Her eyes are glistening with tears and her hair loose about her throat and shoulders. They stare at each other. Then they come together with low animal moans. He falls to his knees on the steps and presses his face to her belly, curving a little with humility. Her eyes go blind with tenderness as she catches his head and raises him to level with hers. He snatches the screen door open and lifts her off her feet and bears her into the dark flat. Blanche comes out of the upper landing in her robe and slips fearfully down the steps.
Where is my little sister? Stella? Stella?
Miss DuBois,
Oh,
all quiet on the Western Front.
she ran downstairs and went back in there with him.
Sure she did.
I'm terrified.
Oh, there's nothing to be scared of. They're crazy about each other.
I'm not used to such a...
No, it's a shame this had to happen when you just got here, but don't take it serious.
Violence is so...
Sit down on the steps here and have a cigarette with me.
I'm not properly dressed.
That don't make no difference in the quarter.
Such a pretty silver case.
I showed you the inscription, didn't I?
Yes. There's so much confusion in the world. Thank you for being so kind. I need kindness now.
Scene 4. It is early the following morning. There is the confusion of street cries like a chorale chant. Stella is lying down in the bedroom. Her face is serene in the early morning sunlight. One hand rests on her belly, rounding slightly with maternity. From the other dangles a book of colored comics. Her eyes and lips have that almost narcotized tranquility that is in the faces of each idols. The table is sloppy with what remains of breakfast and the debris of the preceding night. And Stanley's gaudy pajamas lie across the threshold of the bathroom. The outside door is slightly ajar on a sky of summer brilliance. Blanche appears. She has spent a sleepless night, and her appearance entirely contrasts with Stella's. She presses her knuckles nervously to her lips as she looks through the door before entering.
Stella? Oh, my baby sister.
Blanche, what is the matter with you?
Oh, he left.
Dan? Yes.
Will he be back?
He's gone to get the car greased. Why?
Why? I've been half crazy, Stella. When I found out you've been insane enough to come back down here after what happened, I started to rush in after you.
I'm glad you didn't.
What were you thinking of? Answer me. What?
Blanche, please sit down and stop yelling.
All right, Stella, I will repeat the question quietly now. How could you have come back in this place last night? What? You must have slept with him.
Blanche, I'd forgotten how excitable you are. You're making far too much fuss about this.
Am I?
Yes, you are, Blanche. I know how it must have seemed to you, and I'm awful sorry it had to happen, but it wasn't anything as serious as you seem to take it. In the first place, when men are drinking and playing poker, anything can happen. It's always a powder keg. He didn't know what he was doing. He was as good as a lamb when I came back, and he's really very, very ashamed of himself.
And that makes it all right?
No, it isn't all right for anybody to make such a terrible row, but people do sometimes. Stanley's always smashed things. Why, on our wedding night, as soon as we came in here, he snatched off one of my slippers and rushed about the place smashing light bulbs with it.
He did what?
He smashed all the light bulbs with the heel of my slipper.
And you let him? Didn't run, didn't scream?
I was sort of thrilled by it. Eunice, and you had breakfast?
Do you suppose I wanted any breakfast?
There's some coffee in the kitchen. Oh, it's left on the stove.
You're so matter of fact about it, Stella.
Well, what other can I be? He's taken the radio to get it fixed. It didn't land on the pavement, so only one tube was smashed.
And you are standing there smiling.
What do you want me to do?
Pull yourself together and face the facts.
And what are they in your opinion?
In my opinion, you're married to a madman.
No.
Yes, you are. And your fix is worse than mine is. Only you're not being sensible about it. You're going to do something, get a hold of myself, and I'm going to do something. I'm going to get a hold of myself, and I'm going to make myself a whole new life.
Yes?
But you've given in. And that isn't right. You're not old. You can get out.
I am not in anything I want to get out of.
What, Stella?
I said, I am not in anything that I have a desire to get out of. Look at the mess in this room and those empty bottles. They went through 2 cases last night. He promised this morning that he was going to quit having these poker parties, but you know those promises, how long such a promise is going to keep. Well, it's his pleasure, like mine is movies and bridge. People have got to tolerate each other's habits, I guess.
I don't understand you. I don't understand your indifference. Is this a Chinese philosophy you've cultivated?
Is what?
This shuffling about and mumbling, 1 tube smashed, beer bottles, mess in the kitchen, as if nothing out of the ordinary has happened. Are you deliberately shaking that thing in my face?
No.
Stop it. Let go of that broom. I won't have you cleaning up for him.
Then who's going to do it? Are you?
I?
No, I didn't think so.
Oh, let me think. If only my mind would function. We have got to get a hold of some money. That's the way out.
Well, I guess money is always good to get a hold of.
Listen to me. I have an idea of some kind. Do you remember Shep Huntley? Of course you remember Shep Huntley. I went out with him in college and wore his pin for a while.
Well?
I ran into him last winter, when I went to Miami during the Christmas holidays.
No.
Well, I did. I took the trip as an investment, thinking I could meet someone with $1 million.
And did you?
Yes. I ran into Shep Huntley. I run into him on Biscayne Boulevard on Christmas Eve about dusk, getting into his car, Cadillac convertible, must have been a block long.
I should think it would have been inconvenient in traffic.
Heard of oil wells?
Yes, remotely.
He has them all over Texas. Texas is literally spouting gold in his pockets.
My.
Well, you know how indifferent I am to money. I think of money in terms of what it does for you, but he could do it. He could certainly do it.
Do what, Blanche?
Why, set us up in a shop.
What kind of a shop?
Oh, a shop of some kind. He could do it with half what his wife throws away at the races.
He's married?
Honey, would I be here if the man weren't married? Oh, how do I get a Western Union operator? Western Union.
That's a dial phone, honey.
I can't dial them too.
Just dial O.
O?
Yes, O for operator.
Give me a pencil. Where is a slip of paper? I got to write it down first, the message I made. Now, let me see now. Darling Shep, sister and I in desperate situation.
I beg your pardon.
Sister and I in desperate situation. We'll explain details later. Would you be interested in, you never get anywhere with a direct appeal.
Don't be so ridiculous, darling.
But I'll think of something. I've got to think of something. Don't laugh at me. Don't. Please don't. I want you to look at the contents of my purse. Here's what's in it. 65 measly cents in the coin of the realm.
Stanley doesn't give me a regular allowance. He likes to pay the bills himself, but this morning he gave me $10 to smooth things over. And so you take 5 of it, Blanche, and I'll keep the rest.
Oh, no, Stella.
No, I know how it helps your morale, just having a little pocket money.
No, thank you. I'll take to the streets.
Oh, talk sense. Now, how did you happen to get so low on funds?
Money just goes. It goes places. Sometime today I got to get a hold of a bromo.
I'll fix you one now.
Oh, not yet. I gotta keep thinking.
I just wish you'd let things go, at least for a while.
Stella, I can't live with him. You can. He's your husband. But how can I stay here with him after last night with those just those curtains between us?
You saw him at his worst last night.
On the contrary, I saw him at his best. What such a man has to offer is animal force, and he gave a wonderful exhibition of that. But the only way to live with such a man is to go to bed with him, and that's your job, not mine.
After you've rested a little, you'll see it's going to work out. You don't have to worry about anything while you're here. I mean, expenses.
I have to plan for us both, to get us both out.
You take it for granted that I am in something that I want to get out of.
I take it for granted that you still have sufficient memory of Belle Reve to find this place and these poker players impossible to live with.
Well, you're taking entirely too much for granted.
I can't believe you're in earnest.
No?
I understand how it happened. A little. You saw him in uniform. An officer. Not here, but...
I'm not sure it would have made any difference where I saw him.
Now, don't say it was one of those mysterious electric things between people. If you do, I will laugh in your face.
I'm not going to say any more about it.
All right, then don't.
But there are things that happen between a man and a woman in the dark that make everything else sort of seem unimportant.
What you are talking about is brutal desire, just desire. The name of that rattle-trap streetcar that bangs through the quarter up one old narrow street and down another.
Have you ever ridden on that streetcar?
It brought me here, where I'm not wanted and where I am ashamed to be.
Then don't you think your superior attitude is a bit out of place?
I am not being or feeling at all superior, Stella. Believe me, I am not. It's just this. This is how I look at it. A man like that is someone to go out with once, twice, okay, 3 times when the devil is in you. But to live with, have a child by?
I have told you I love him.
Then I tremble for you. I just tremble for you.
Well, I can't help you trembling if you insist on trembling.
May I speak plainly?
Yes, do. Go ahead, as plainly as you like. As plainly as you want to.
Outside, a train is approaching. They are silent till the noises subside. They are both in the bedroom. Under the cover of the train's noise, Stanley enters from outside. He stands unseen by the women, holding some packages in his arms, and overhears their following conversation.
Well, if you forgive me, he's common.
Yes, I suppose he is.
Suppose? You can't have forgotten that much of our bringing up, Stella, that you just suppose that any part of a gentleman's in his nature? Not one particle, no. Oh, if he was just ordinary, just plain, but good and wholesome. But no, there's something downright bestial about him. You're hating me saying this, aren't you?
Go on and say it all, Blanche.
He acts like an animal. He has an animal's habits, eats like one, moves like one, talks like one. There's even something subhuman, something not quite to the stage of humanity yet. Yes, something ape-like about him, like one of those pictures I've seen in anthropological studies. Thousands and thousands of years have passed him right by. And there he is, Stanley Kowalski, survivor of the Stone Age, bearing the raw meat home from the kill in the jungle. And you here, waiting for him. Maybe he'll strike you, or maybe he'll grunt and kiss you. That is, if kisses have been discovered yet. Night falls and the other apes gather. There's there in the front of the cave, all grunting like him and swilling and gnawing and hulking. His poker night, you call it, this party of apes? Somebody growls, some creature snatches at something, the fight is on. God, maybe we are a long way from being made in God's image, but Stella, my sister, there has been some progress since then. Such things as art, as poetry and music, such things of new light that have come into the world since then. In some kinds of people, some tenderer feelings have had some little beginning that we have got to make grow and cling to and hold as our flag in this dark march towards whatever it is we're approaching. Don't hang back with the brutes.
Another train passes outside. Stanley hesitates, licking his lips. Then suddenly, he turns stealthily about and withdraws through the front door. The women are still unaware of his presence. When the train is passed, he calls to the closed window.
He's unmute him. Unmute Steve.
Hey, Stella.
Stanley.
Stella.
Hiya, Stella. Blanche back.
Yeah, she's back.
Hiya, Blanche.
You must have got under the car.
them darn mechanics at Fritz's don't know their ass from hay.
Stella has embraced him with both arms, fiercely and full in view of Blanche. He laughs and clasps her head to him. Over her head, he grins through the curtains at Blanche. As the lights fade away with a lingering brightness on their embrace, the music of the blue piano and trumpet and drums is heard. Scene 5. Blanche is seated in the bedroom fanning herself with a palm leaf as she reads over a just completed letter. Suddenly, she bursts into a peal of laughter. Stella is dressing in the bedroom.
What are you laughing at, honey?
Oh, myself, for being such a liar. I'm writing a letter to Shep. Darling Shep, I am spending the summer on the wing, making flying visits here and there, and who knows, perhaps I shall take a sudden notion to swoop down on Dallas. How would you feel about that? Ha ha. Ooh, forewarned is forearmed, as they say. How does that sound?
Uh-huh.
Most of my sister's friends go north in the summer, but some have homes on the Gulf. And there has been a continued round of entertainments, teas, cocktails, and luncheons.
Oh, Eunice seems to be having some trouble with Steve.
I heard about that blonde.
That's a damn lie.
You ain't putting the wool over my eyes. I wouldn't mind if you stayed down there at the Four Deuces, but you always going up.
Whoever see me up?
I seen you chasing her around the balcony. I'm gonna call the Vice Squad.
Don't you throw that at me.
You hit me, I'm gonna tell the world and the police.
Did he kill her?
No, she's coming downstairs.
Call the police. I'm going to call the police.
Eunice.
She and Steve had a row. Has she got the police?
No, she's getting a drink.
That's much more practical.
Is she here?
No, at the Four Deuces.
Ah, rotten hunk.
I must jot down in my notebook. Ha ha. I'm compiling a notebook of quaint little words and phrases I've picked up here.
Won't pick up nothing here you ain't heard before.
Can I count on that?
You can count it up to 500.
Well, that is a mighty high number. What sign are you born under?
Sign?
An astrological sign. I bet you're born under Aries. Aries people are forceful and dynamic. They dote on noise. They love to bang things around. You must have had a lot of banging around in the army, and now that you're out, you make up for it by treating inanimate objects with such a fury.
Stanley was born just 5 minutes after Christmas.
Capricorn, the goat.
What sign were you born under?
Oh, my birthday is next month, the 15th of September. That's under Virgo.
What's Virgo?
Virgo is the virgin.
Say, do you happen to know somebody named Shaw?
Shaw. Why, and well, everybody knows someone named Shaw.
Well, this somebody named Shaw is under the impression that he met you in Laurel, but I figure he must have got you mixed up with some other party, because this other party is someone he met at a hotel called the Flamingo.
Oh, well, I'm afraid he does have me mixed up with this other party. The Hotel Flamingo is not the sort of establishment I would dare to be seen in.
You know of it?
Yes, I have seen it and smelled it.
You must have got pretty close if you smell it.
The odor of cheap perfume is penetrating.
That stuff you use is expensive.
$25 an ounce and I'm almost out of it. That's just a hint if you want to remember my birthday.
Now, Shaw must have got you mixed up. He goes in and out of Laura all the time, so he can check on and clear up any mistake.
He turns away and crosses to the porters. Blanche closes her eyes as if faint. Her hand trembles as she lifts the handkerchief again. Steve and Eunice come around the corner. Steve's arm is around Eunice's shoulder, and she is sobbing luxuriously. He is cooing love words. There is murmur of thunder as they go slowly upstairs in a tight embrace.
I'll wait for you at the Four Deuces.
Hey, don't I rate one kiss?
Not in front of your sister.
Stella, what have you heard about me?
Huh?
What have people been telling you about me?
Telling?
You haven't heard any unkind gossip about me?
No, Blanche, of course not.
Well, honey, there was a good deal of talk in Laurel.
About you, Blanche?
I wasn't so good the last 2 years or so after Belle Reeve had started to slip through my fingers.
Well, all of us do things we...
I was never hard or self-sufficient enough. When people are soft people have got to shimmer and glow. They've got to put on soft colors, the colors of butterfly wings, and put a paper lantern over the light. It isn't enough to be soft. You've got to be soft and attractive, and I'm fading now. I don't know how much longer I can turn the trick.
The afternoon has faded to dusk. Stella goes into the bedroom and turns on the light under the paper lantern. She holds a bottled soft drink in her hand.
Have you been listening to me?
I don't listen to you when you're being morbid.
Is that Coke for me?
Not for anyone else.
Why, you precious thing. Is it just Coke?
You mean you want a shot in it?
Well, honey, a shot never does a Coke any harm. Let me, you mustn't wait on me.
Well, I like to wait on you, Blanche. It makes it seem more like home.
I have to admit, I love to be waited on. You're so good to me. And
Blanche.
Oh, I know, I won't. You hate me to talk sentimental. But honey, believe me, I feel things more than I tell you. I won't stay long. I promise.
Blanche.
Well, I won't. I'll promise I'll go soon. I really will. I won't hang around until he throws me out.
No, stop talking. You stop talking foolish.
Yes, honey. Watch how you pour. That fizzy stuff foams over. Oh.
The heavens.
Oh.
Heavens, Blanche.
Right on my pretty white skirt.
Oh, honey, use my hanky. Blot gently. Blot gently.
I know. Gently.
Did it stain?
Oh, not a bit. Isn't that lucky?
Why did you scream like that?
I don't know why. Why I scream? Mitch is coming at 7. I guess I'm just feeling nervous about our relations. He hasn't gotten a thing but a good night kiss. That's all I've given him, Stella. I want his respect. And men don't want anything they get too easy. But on the other hand, men lose interest quickly, especially when a girl is over 30. They think that a girl over 30 ought to, the vulgar term is put out. I'm not putting out. Of course, he doesn't know. I mean, I haven't informed him of my real age.
Why are you so sensitive about your age?
Because of the hard knocks my vanity's been given. What I mean is, he thinks I'm sort of prim and proper, you know? And I want to deceive him enough to make him want me.
Blanche, do you want him?
I want to rest. I want to breathe quietly again. Yes, I want Mitch very badly. Just think, if it happens, I can leave here and not be anyone's problem.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Eunice. Hey, Stella.
It will happen.
It will.
It will. It will, honey. It will. But don't take another drink. Please.
Jack.
Thinks faintly back in her chair with her drink. Eunice shrieks with laughter and runs down the steps. Steve bounds after her with goat-like screeches and chases her around the corner. Stanley and Stella twine arms as they follow, laughing. Dusk settled steeper. Music from the Four Deuces is slow and blue.
Me, oh, me.
Suddenly, there is a little glimmer of lightning about the building. A young man comes along the street and rings the bell.
Come in.
The young man appears to the porters. She regards him with interest.
Well, what can I do for you?
I'm collecting for the Evening Star.
I didn't know the stars took up collections.
It's the paper.
I know. I was joking feebly. Will you have a drink?
No, ma'am, no thank you. I can't drink on the job.
Oh, well, now let's see. No, I don't have a dime. I'm not the lady of the house. I'm her sister from Mississippi. I am one of those poor relations you've heard about.
That's all right. I'll drop by later.
Hey, could you give me a light?
Sure. This doesn't always work.
It's temperamental. Oh, thank you. Hey, what time is it?
15 of 7, ma'am.
So late. Don't you just love those long rainy afternoons in New Orleans when an hour isn't just an hour, but a little piece of eternity dropped into your hands, and who knows what to do with it? You didn't get wet in the rain.
No, ma'am. I stepped inside.
In a drugstore and had a soda?
Uh-huh.
Chocolate?
No, ma'am. Cherry.
Cherry?
A cherry soda.
You make my mouth water.
Oh, well, I'd better be going.
Young man.
She takes a long gossamer scarf from the trunk and drapes it about her shoulders. In the ensuing pause, the blue piano is heard. It continues through the rest of the scene and the opening of the next. The young man clears his throat and looks at the door.
Young man, young man, young man. Has anyone ever told you that you look like a young prince out of the Arabian Nights? Well, you do, honey lamb. Come here. I want to kiss you just once. Softly and sweetly on the lips. On your mouth. Now run along now quickly. It would be nice to keep you, but I've got to be good and keep my hands off children.
He stares at her a moment. She opens the door for him and blows a kiss at him as he goes down the steps with a dazed look. She stands there a little dreamily after he has disappeared. Then Mitch appears around the corner with a bunch of roses.
Look who's coming, my Rosen Cavalier. Bow to me first, now present them. Ah, merci.
Scene 6. It is about 2 a.m. on the same evening. The outer wall of the building is visible. Blanche and Mitch come in. The utter exhaustion, which only the neurasthenic personality can know, is evident in Blanche's voice and manner. Mitch is stolid, but depressed. They have probably been out of to the amusement park on Lake Pontchartrain, for Mitch is bearing upside down a plaster statuette of Mae West, the sort of prize won at shooting galleries or carnival games of chance.
Well,
I guess it must be pretty late and you're tired.
even the hot tamale man has deserted the street, and he hangs on till the end. How will you get home?
I'll walk over to Bourbon and catch an owl car.
Is that streetcar named Desire still grinding along the tracks at this hour?
I'm afraid you haven't gotten much fun out of this evening, Blanche.
Well, I spoiled it for you.
No, you didn't, but I felt all the time that I wasn't giving you much entertainment.
Well, I simply couldn't rise to the occasion, that was all. I don't think I've ever tried so hard to be gay and made such a dismal mess of it. I get 10 points for trying. I did try.
Why did you try if you didn't feel like it, Blanche?
I was just obeying the law of nature.
Which law is that?
The one that says the lady must entertain the gentleman or no dice. See if you can locate my door key in this purse. See if you can locate my door key in this purse when I'm so tired my fingernails are all thumbs.
Is this it?
No, honey, that's the key to my trunk, which I must soon be packing.
You mean you're leaving here soon?
Oh, I've outstayed my welcome.
Is this it?
Eureka, honey, you open the door while I take a last look at the sky. I'm looking for the Pleiades, the seven sisters, but these girls are not out tonight. Oh, yes, they are. There they are. God bless them all in a bunch, going home from their little bridge party. You got the door open? Good boy. I guess you want to go now.
Can I kiss you goodnight?
Why do you always ask me if you may?
I don't know whether you want me to or not.
Why should you be so doubtful?
That night when we parked by the lake and I kissed you,
Honey, it wasn't the kiss I objected to. I liked the kiss very much. It was the other little familiarity that I felt obliged to discourage. I didn't resent it, not a bit in the world. In fact, I was somewhat flattered that you desired me. But honey, you know as well as I do that as a single girl, a girl alone in the world, has got to keep a firm hold on her emotions or she will be lost.
Lost.
I guess you're used to girls that like to be lost. The kind that gets lost immediately on the first date.
I like you to be exactly the way you are, because in all my experience, I have never known anyone like you.
Are you laughing at me? Oh,
No.
sorry, wrong line.
Are you laughing at me?
No, honey. The Lord and Lady of the house have not yet returned, so come on in. We'll have a nightcap. Oh, let's leave the lights off, shall we?
You just do what you want to.
The outer wall of the building disappears, and the interiors of the two rooms is dimly seen.
Other rooms more comfortable. Go on in. This crashing around in the dark is my search for some liquor.
You want a drink?
I want you to have a drink. You've been so anxious and solemn all evening, and so have I. We both have been anxious and solemn. And now for these last few remaining moments of our lives together, I want to create joie de vivre. I'm lighting a candle.
That's good.
We're going to be very bohemian. We're going to pretend that we're sitting in a little artist cafe on the left bank in Paris. Je suis la dame aux camélias. Vous êtes Armand. Understand French?
No, I
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Vous ne comprenez pas? Ah, quel dommage. I mean, it's a damn good thing. I found some liquor, just enough for 2 shots without any dividends, honey.
That's good.
Sit down. Why don't you take your coat and loosen your collar?
I better leave it on.
No, I want you to be comfortable.
I'm ashamed of the way I perspire. My shirt is sticking to me.
Perspiration is healthy. If people didn't perspire, they would die in 5 minutes. This is a nice coat. What kind of material is it?
They call that stuff alpaca.
Oh, alpaca.
It's very lightweight alpaca.
Lightweight alpaca.
I don't like to wear a wash coat even in summer because I sweat through it.
Oh.
And it don't look neat on me. A man with a heavy build has got to be careful of what he puts on him so he don't look too clumsy.
You're not too heavy.
You don't think I am?
Well, you're not the delicate type. You have a massive bone structure and a very imposing physique.
Thank you. Last Christmas, I was given a membership to the New Orleans Athletic Club.
Oh, good.
It was the finest present I ever was given. I work out there with the weights and I swim and I keep myself fit. When I started there, I was getting soft in the belly, but now my belly is hard. It's so hard that a man can punch me in the belly, so it don't hurt me. Punch me. Go on. See?
Gracious.
Guess how much I weigh, Blanche?
Well, I'd say in the vicinity of 180.
Guess again.
Not that much?
No, more.
Well, you're a tall man and you carry a good deal of weight without looking awkward.
I weigh 207 pounds and I'm 6'1" and 1/2 inches tall in my bare feet without shoes on. And that is what I weigh stripped.
Oh my goodness me, it is awe-inspiring.
My weight is not a very interesting subject to talk about. What's yours?
My weight?
Yes?
Guess.
Let me lift you.
Ah, Samson, go on. Lift me. Well,
You are light as a feather.
you may release me now.
Huh?
I said, unhand me, sir. Now, Mitch, just because Stanley and Stella aren't at home is no reason why we shouldn't behave like a gentleman.
Just give me a slap whenever I step out of bounds.
Oh, that won't be necessary. You are a natural gentleman. One of the very few that are left in the world. I don't want you to think that I'm a severe and old maid school teacher-ish or anything like that. It's just, well,
Huh.
I guess it's just that I have old-fashioned ideals.
Where's Stanley and Stella tonight?
They've gone out with Mr. and Mrs. Hubble upstairs.
Where did they go?
I think they were planning to go to a midnight preview at Low State.
We should all go out together some night.
No, that would not be a good plan.
Why not?
You're an old friend of Stanley's.
We was together in the 245.
I guess he talks to you frankly.
Sure.
Has he talked to you about me?
Oh, not very much.
And the way you say that, I suspect he has.
No, he hasn't said much.
But what he has said, what would you say his attitude towards me was?
Why do you want to ask that?
Well,
Don't you get along with him?
what do you think?
I don't think he understands you.
Oh, that's putting it mildly. If it weren't for Stella about to have a baby, I would not be able to endure things here.
He isn't nice to you?
He's insufferably rude, goes out of his way to offend me.
In what way, Blanche?
Why, in every conceivable way.
I'm surprised to hear that.
How are you?
Well, I don't see how anybody could be rude to you.
Well, it is a pretty frightful situation. You see, there's no privacy here. Just these two portiers between the two rooms at night, and he stalks through the rooms in his underwear at night, and I have to ask him to close the bathroom door. That sort of commonness is not necessary. Oh, you probably wonder why I don't move out. Well, I'll tell you frankly, a teacher's salary is barely sufficient for her living expenses. Well, I didn't save a penny last year, so I had to come here for the summer. That's why I have to put up with my sister's husband, and he has to put up with me, apparently so much against his wishes. Surely he must have told you how much he hates me.
I don't think he hates you.
Oh, he hates me. Or why would he insult me? The first time I laid eyes on him, I thought to myself, that man is my executioner. That man will destroy me unless...
Blanche,
Yes, honey.
can I ask you a question?
Yes, what?
How old are you?
Why do you want to know?
I talked to my mother about you, and she said, how old is Blanche? And I wasn't able to tell her.
You talked to your mother about me?
Yes.
Why?
I told my mother how nice you were, and I liked you.
Were you sincere about that?
You know I was.
Why did your mother want to know my age?
Mother is sick.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear it. Badly?
She won't live long. Maybe just a few months.
Oh.
She worries because I'm not settled.
Oh.
She wants me to be settled down before she...
You love her very much, don't you?
Yes.
I think you have a great capacity for devotion. You will be lonely when she passes on, won't you? I understand what that is.
To be lonely?
I loved someone too. And the person I loved, I lost.
Ted? A man?
He was a boy, just a boy. When I was a very young girl. When I was 16, I made the discovery, love. All at once and much, much too completely. It was like you suddenly turned a blinding light on something that had always been half in shadow, and that's how it struck the world for me. But I was unlucky, deluded. There was something different about the boy, a nervousness, a softness and tenderness, which wasn't like a man's, although he wasn't the least bit effeminate looking. Still, that thing was there, and he came to me for help. I didn't know that. I didn't find out anything till after our marriage, when we'd run away and come back, and all I knew was I'd failed him in some mysterious way and wasn't able to give him the help he needed, but couldn't speak of. He was in the quicksands and clutching at me, but I wasn't holding him out. I was slipping in with him. I didn't know that. I didn't know anything except I loved him unendurably, but without being able to help him or myself. And then I found out in the worst of all possible ways, by coming suddenly into a room that I thought was empty, which wasn't empty, but had two people in it. The man I had married and an older man who had been his friend for years. Afterwards, we pretended that nothing had been discovered. And yes, the three of us drove out to Moon Lake Casino very drunk, and we laughed all the way. We danced the Varsovina. Suddenly, in the middle of the dance, the boy I had married broke away from me and ran out of the casino. And a few minutes later, shot. I ran out, all ran and gathered about the terrible thing at the edge of the lake. I couldn't get near for the crowding. Then somebody caught my arm. Don't go any closer, come back. You don't want to see. See what? Then I heard voices say, Alan, the gray boy. He stuck the revolver into his mouth and fired so that the back of his head had been blown away. It was because on the dance floor, unable to stop myself, I suddenly said, I know, you disgust me. And then the searchlight, which had been turned on the world, was turned off again, and never again for one moment since has there been any light that's stronger than this kitchen candle.
You need somebody. And I need somebody too. Could it be you and me, Blanche?
Sometimes there's God so quickly.
Ooh. Scene 7. Wow. It is late afternoon in mid-September. The porters are open and a table is set for a birthday supper with cake and flowers. Stella is completing the decorations as Stanley comes in.
What's all this stuff for?
Honey, it's Blanche's birthday.
She here?
In the bathroom.
Washing out some things.
I reckon so.
How long she been in there?
All afternoon.
Soaking in a hot tub.
Yes.
Temperature 100 on the nose, and she puts herself in the hot tub.
She says it cools her off for evening.
And you run out and get her cokes, I suppose, and serve them to Her Majesty in the tub. Sit down here a minute.
Stanley, I've got things to do.
Sit down. I got the dope on you, big sister Stella.
Stanley, stop picking on Blanche.
That girl calls me mama.
Lately, you have been doing all you can think of to rub her the wrong way, Stanley. And Blanche is sensitive, and you've got to realize that Blanche and I grew up under very different circumstances than you did.
So I've been told and told and told and told. You know, she's been feeding us a pack of lies here.
No, I don't. And
Well, she has, however, but now the cat's out of the bag. I found out some things.
What things?
Things I already suspected, but now I got proof from the most reliable sources, which I have checked on.
Lower your voice.
Some canary bird, huh?
Now, please, tell me quietly what you think you found out about my sister.
Lie number one, all this squeamishness she puts on. You should just know the line she's been feeding to Mitch. He thought he had never been more than kissed by a fellow, but Sister Blanche is no lily. So lily she is.
What have you heard and who from?
Our supply man down at the plant has been going through law for years, and he knows all about her, and everybody else in the town of Laurel knows all about her. She is as famous in Laurel as if she was the president of the United States, only she is not respected by any party. This supply man stops at a hotel called the Flamingo.
It's only a paper moon sailing over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
What about the Flamingo?
There too.
My sister lived in Belle Reve.
This is after the holidays had slipped through her lily white fingers. She moved to the Flamingo, a second-class hotel which has the advantage of not interfering in the private social life of the personalities there. The Flamingo is used to all kinds of on. Even the management of the Flamingo was impressed by Dame Blanche. In fact, they were so impressed by Dame Blanche that they requested her to return her room key permanently. This happened a couple of weeks before she showed here.
It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
What contemptible lies.
Sure, I can see how you would be upset by this, but she pulled the wool over your eyes as much as Mitchell.
It's pure invention. There's not a word of truth in it. And if I were a man, and if this creature had dared to invent such things in my presence, that
without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade.
Honey, I told you I thoroughly checked on these stories. Now wait till I finish. The trouble with Dame Blanche was that she couldn't put on her act anymore in law. They got wised up after 2 or 3 dates with her, and then they quit, and she goes on to another, the same old line, same old act, same old hooey. But the town was too small for this to go on forever. And as time went by, she became a town character, regarded as not just different, but downright loco, nuts. And for the last year or two, she has been washed up like poison. That's why she's here this summer, visiting royalty, put on all this act, because she's practically told by the mayor to get out of town. Yes, did you know there was an army camp near Laurel? And your sister's one of the places called Out of Bounds?
It's only a paper moon, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
so much for being such a refined and particular type of girl, which brings us to lie number 2.
I don't want to hear anymore.
She's not going back to teach school. In fact, I am willing to bet you that she never had no idea of returning to Laurel. She didn't resign temporarily from the high school because of her nerves. No, sorry, Bob, she didn't. They kicked her out of that high school before the spring term ended. And I hate to tell you the reason that step was taken. A 17-year-old boy she'd gotten mixed up with.
It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be.
This is making me sick.
The boy's dad learned about it and got in touch with the high school superintendent. Boy, oh boy, I'd like to have been in that office when Dame Blanche was called on the carpet. I'd like to have seen her trying to squirm out of that one. But they had her on the hook good and proper at that time, and she knew that the jig was all up. They told her she better move on to some fresh territory. Yep, it was practically a town ordinance passed against her.
Stella,
Yes, Blanche?
can you give me another bath towel to dry my hair with? I just washed it.
Yes, Blanche.
Well, what's the matter, honey?
Matter? Why?
Well, you have such a strange expression on your face.
Oh, I guess I'm a little tired.
Why don't you bathe too, soon as I get out?
How soon is that gonna be?
Not so terribly long. Possess your soul in patience.
It's not my soul, it's my kidneys I'm worried about. Well, what do you think of it?
I don't believe all those stories, and I think your supply man was mean and rotten to tell them. It's possible that some of the things he says are partly true. There are things about my sister that I don't approve of, things that cause sorrow at home. She was always flighty.
Flighty.
But when she was young, very young, she married a boy who wrote poetry. He was extremely good looking. I think Blanche just didn't love him, but worshipped the ground he walked on, adored him, and thought him almost too fine to be human. But then she found out
What?
this beautiful and talented young man was degenerate. Did your supply man give you that information?
All we discussed was recent history. That must have been a pretty long time ago.
Yes, it was a pretty long time ago.
How many candles you putting in that cake?
I'll stop at 25.
Is company expected?
We asked Mitch to come over for cake and ice cream.
Well, I wouldn't be expecting Mitch over that.
Why?
Mitch is a buddy of mine. We were in the same outfit together, 241st engineers. We work in the same plant and now on the same bowling team. You think I could face him if...
Stanley Kowalski, did you repeat what that...
You goddamn right I told him. I have that on my conscience the rest of my life if I knew all that stuff and let my best friend get caught.
Is Mitch through with her?
Wouldn't you be?
I said, is Mitch through with her?
No, I don't think he's necessarily through with him. Just wised up.
Stanley, she thought Mitch was going to marry her. I thought so too.
Well, he's not gonna marry her. Maybe he was, but he's not gonna jump in the tank with a school of sharks now. Blanche, oh Blanche, can I please get in my bathroom?
Yes, indeed, sir. Can you wait 1 second while I dry?
Having waited 1 hour, I guess 1 second ought to pass in a hurry.
And she hasn't got a job. What will she do?
Not staying here after Tuesday. You know that, don't you? Just to make sure I barter ticket myself, a bus ticket.
In the first place, Blanche wouldn't go on a bus.
You'll go on a bus and like it.
No, she won't. No, she won't, Stanley.
She'll go, period. P.S. She'll go Tuesday.
What will she do? What on earth will she do?
Her future is mapped out for her.
What do you mean?
Hey, canary bird, Toots, get out of my bathroom.
I feel so good after my long hot bath. I feel so good and cool and rested.
Do you, Blanche?
Yes, I feel so refreshed. Oh, a hot bath and a long cold drink always give me a brand new outlook on life. Something has happened. What is it?
Why, nothing has happened, Blanche.
Well, you're lying. Something has.
She stares tearfully at Stella, who pretends to be busy at the table. The distant piano goes into a hectic breaking down. Scene 8, 3/4 of an hour later. The view through the big windows is fading gradually into a still golden dusk. A torch of sunlight blazes on the side of a big water tank or oil drum across the empty lot towards the business district. The three people are completing a dismal birthday supper. Stanley looks sullen. Stella is embarrassed and sad. Blanche has a tight, artificial smile on her drawn face. There is a fourth place at the table, which is left vacant.
Stanley, tell us a joke. Tell us a funny story to make us all laugh. I don't know what's the matter. We're all so solemn. Is it because I have been stood up by my beau? It's the first time in my entire experience with men, and I have had a good deal of all sorts, that I've actually been stood up by anybody. Ha! I don't know how to take it. God, tell us a funny story, Stanley. Something to help us out.
I didn't think you liked my stories, Blanche.
I like them when they're amusing, but not indecent.
I don't know any refined enough for your taste.
Then let me tell one.
Yes, you tell one, Blanche. You used to know lots of good stories.
Now, let me see. I must run through my repertoire. Oh, yes, I love parrot stories. Do y'all like parrot stories? Well, this one's about an old maid and the parrot. This old maid, she had a parrot that cursed the blue streak and knew more vulgar expressions than Mr. Kowalski. And the only way to hush the parrot up was to put the cover back on its cage so it would think it was night and just go back to sleep. Well, one morning the old maid had just uncovered the parrot for the day when who should she see coming up the front walk but the preacher? Well, she rushed back to the parrot and slipped the cover back on the cage, and then she let the preacher in. And the parrot was perfectly still, just quiet as a mouse. But just as she was asking the preacher how much sugar he wanted in his coffee, the parrot broke his silence with a loud and said, "God damn, but that was a short day." Apparently, Mr. Kowalski was not amused.
Mr. Kowalski is too busy making a pig of himself to think of anything else.
That's right, baby.
Your face and your fingers are disgustingly greasy. Go and wash them up and then help me clear the table.
That's how I'll clear the table. Don't ever talk that way to me. Pig, Pollock, disgusting, vulgar, greasy. Them kind of words have been on your tongue and your sisters too much around here. What do you think you are? A pair of queens? Remember what Huey Long said, every man is a king, and I am the king around here, so don't forget it. My place is cleared. You want me to clear your places?
What happened while I was bathing? What did he tell you, Stella?
Nothing, nothing, nothing.
I think he told you something about Mitch and me. You know why Mitch didn't come? You know why Mitch didn't come, but you won't tell me. I'm going to call him.
I wouldn't call him, Blanche.
I am. I'm going to call him on the phone.
I wish you wouldn't.
I intend to be given some explanation from someone.
I hope you are pleased with your doings. I never had so much trouble swallowing food in my life, looking at that girl's face and at that empty chair.
Hello? Mr. Mitchell, please? Oh, I would like to leave a number if I may, Magnolia 9047, and say it's important to call. Yes, very important. Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right after she goes and after you've had the baby. It's gonna be all right again between you and me the way that it was. Remember that the way that it was, the nights we had together. God, honey, it's gonna be sweet when we can make noise in the night the way that we used to, and get the color lights going with nobody's sister behind the curtains to hear us. Steve and Eunice.
Come on back in. Blanche?
Yes? Oh, those pretty, pretty little candles. Oh, don't you burn them, Stella.
I certainly will.
You ought to save them for baby's birthdays. Oh, I hope candles are going to glow in his life, and I hope that his eyes are going to be like candles, like two blue candles lighted in a white cake.
What poetry?
I shouldn't have called him.
There's lots of things that could have happened.
Oh, there's no excuse for it, Stella. I don't have to put up with insults. I won't be taken for granted.
God damn, it's hot in here with the steam from the bathroom.
I said I was sorry 3 times. I take hot baths for my nerves. Hydrotherapy, they call it. You healthy Polak without a nerve in your body. Of course, you don't know what anxiety feels like.
I am not a Polak. People from Poland are Poles, not Polacks. What I am is 100% American, born and raised in the greatest country on earth and proud as hell of it. Don't you ever call me a Polak.
Oh, that's for me, I'm sure.
I'm not sure. Keep your seat. Hello. Oh, yeah. Hello, Mac.
Oh, keep your hands off me, Stella. What is the matter with you? Why do you look at me with that pitying look?
Quiet in there. Oh, we got a noisy woman in the place. Go on, Mac. At Riley's? No, I don't want to bowl at Riley's. I had a little trouble with Riley last week. I'm the team captain, ain't I? All right, then we're not going to bowl at Riley's. We're going to bowl at the West Side or the Gala. All right, Mac. See ya. Well, Sister Blanche, I got a little birthday remembrance for you.
Oh, have you, Stanley? Well, I wasn't expecting any. I don't know why Stella wants to observe my birthday. I'd much rather forget it when you reach 27. Well, age is a subject you'd prefer to ignore.
It's 27.
What is it? Is it for me?
Yes, I hope you like it.
Why, it's a...
Ticket, back to law on the Greyhound, Tuesday.
Well,
You didn't need to do that.
Don't forget all that I took off her.
You needn't be so cruel to someone as alone as she is.
Delicate piece she is.
She is. She was. You didn't know Blanche as a girl. Nobody was tender and trusting as she was. But people like you abused her and forced her to change. Do you think you're going bowling now? You're not going bowling. Why did you do this to her?
I nothing to no one. Let go of my shirt. You torn it.
I want to know why. Tell me why.
When we first met, me and you thought I was common. How right you was, baby. I was common as dirt. You showed me the snap of the place with the columns. I pulled you down off them columns and how you loved it, having them colored lights going. And wasn't we together? Wasn't it all okay till she showed here? What? Wasn't we happy together? Wasn't it all okay till she showed here, hoity-toity, describing me as an ape? Hey, what is it?
Take me to the hospital.
He is with her now, supporting her with his arm, murmuring indistinguishably as they go outside. Scene 9. A while later that evening, Blanche is seated in a tense, hunched position in a bedroom chair that she has recovered with a diagonal green and white stripes. She has on her scarlet satin robe. On the table beside her is a bottle of liquor and a glass. The rapid, feverish polka of the Varsuviana is heard. The music in her mind. She is drinking to escape it and the sense of disaster closing in on her, and she seems to whisper the words of the song. An electric fan is turning back and forth across her. Mitch comes around the corner in working clothes. He is unshaven. He climbs the steps to the door and rings. Blanche is startled.
Who is it, please?
Me, Mitch.
Mitch. Just a minute. Mitch, you know, I really shouldn't let you in after the treatment I have received from you this evening, so utterly uncavalier. But hello, beautiful. My, what a cold shoulder and such uncouth apparel. Why, you haven't even shaved, the unforgivable insult to a lady. But I forgive you because it is such a relief to see you. You've stopped that polka tune that I had caught in my head. Have you ever had anything caught in your head? No, of course you haven't. You dumb angel puss, you never get anything awful caught in your head.
Do we have to have that? Do we have to have that fan on?
No.
I don't like fans.
Then let's turn it off, honey. I'm not partial to that. I don't know what there is to drink. I haven't investigated.
I don't want Stan's liquor.
It isn't Stan's. Everything here isn't Stan's. Some things on the premises are actually mine. How's your mother? Isn't your mother well?
Why?
Something's the matter tonight, but never mind. I won't cross-examine the witness. I'll just pretend I don't notice anything different about you. Oh, that music again.
What music?
The Varsuviana, the polka tune they were playing when Alan, well, wait. There now, the shot, it always stops after that. Yes, now it stopped.
Are you boxed out of your mind?
I'll go and see what I can find in the way of, oh, by the way, excuse me for not being dressed, but I've practically given you up. Had you forgotten your invitation to supper?
I wasn't going to see you anymore.
Oh, wait a minute. I can't hear what you're saying, and you talk so little that when you do say something, I don't want to miss a single syllable of it. What am I looking for around here? Oh, yeah, liquor. We've had so much excitement around here this evening that I am boxed out of my mind. Here's something. Southern Comfort. What is that? I wonder.
If you don't know, it must belong to Stan.
Take your foot off the bed. It has the light cover on it. Oh, of course, you boys don't notice things like that. I've done so much with this place since I've been here.
I bet you have.
You saw it before I came. Well, look at it now. This room is almost dainty. I want to keep it that way. I wonder if this stuff ought to be mixed with something. It's sweet, so sweet. Ooh, terribly, terribly sweet. Why, it's a liqueur, I believe. Yes, that's what it is, a liqueur. I'm afraid you won't like it, but try it and maybe you will.
I told you already, I don't want none of his liquor, and I mean it. You ought to lay off his liquor. He says you've been lapping it up all summer like a wild cat.
What a fantastic statement. Fantastic of him to say it. Fantastic of you to repeat it. I won't descend to that level of such cheap accusations to answer them even.
Huh.
What is in your mind? I see something in your eyes.
It's dark in here.
I like it dark. The dark is comforting to me.
I don't think I've ever seen you in the light. That's a fact.
Is it?
I've never seen you in the afternoon.
Whose fault is that?
You never want to go out in the afternoon.
Why, Mitch, you're at the plant in the afternoon.
Not Sunday afternoons. I've asked you to go out with me sometimes on Sundays, but you always make an excuse. You never want to go out till it's after 6, and then it's always someplace that's not lighted much.
There is some obscure meaning in this, but I fail to catch it.
What it means is I've never had a real good look at you, Blanche. Let's turn the light on here.
The light? Which light? What for?
This one with the paper thing on it.
What did you do that for?
I can take a good look at you, good and plain.
Oh, of course, you don't mean really to be insulting.
No, just realistic.
I don't want realism. I want magic. Yes, magic. I try to give that to people. I misrepresent things to them. I don't tell the truth. I tell what ought to be the truth. And if that is simple, then let me be damned for it. Don't turn on the light. Oh!
All right. I don't mind you being older than what I thought. But all the rest of it, Christ. That pitch about your ideals being so old-fashioned and all the malarkey that you've dished out all summer. Oh, I knew you weren't 16 anymore. But I was a fool enough to believe you were straight.
And who told you I wasn't straight? My loving brother-in-law? And you believed him?
I called him a liar at first, and then I checked on the story. First, I asked our supply man who travels through Laurel, and then I talked directly over long distance to this merchant.
Who is this merchant?
Kefauver.
The merchant Kefauver of Laurel? I know the man. He whistled at me. I put him in his place. So now for revenge, he makes up stories about me.
3 people, Kefauver, Stanley, and Shaw, swore to them.
Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub, in such a filthy tub.
Did you ever stay at a hotel called the Flamingo?
Flamingo, no. Tarantula was the name of it. I stayed at a hotel called the Tarantula Arms.
Tarantula.
Yeah, a big spider. That's where I brought my victims. Yes, and I had so many intimacies with strangers. And after the death of Alan, intimacies with strangers was all I was seemed able to fill my empty heart with. I think it was panic, just panic that drove me from one to another, hunting for some protection here and there in the most unlikely places, even at last in a 17-year-old boy. But somebody wrote the superintendent about it. This woman is morally unfit for her position. Oh, true. Yes, I suppose unfit somehow anyway. So I came here. There was nowhere else I could go. I was played out. You know what played out is? My youth is suddenly gone up the water spout, and I met you. You said you needed somebody. Well, I needed somebody too. And I thank God for you because you seem to be gentle, a cleft in the rock of the world that I could hide in. But I guess I was hoping too much. Kefauver, Stanley, and Shaw have tied an old tin can to the tail of a kite.
You lied to me, Blanche.
Don't say I lied to you.
Lies, lies, inside and out, all lies.
Never inside. I didn't lie in my heart.
A vendor comes around the corner. She is blind. She is a blind Mexican woman in a dark shawl, carrying bunches of those gaudy tin flowers that women display at funerals and other festive occasions. She is calling barely audibly. Her figure is only faintly visible outside the building.
Flores, flores, flores para los muertos. Flores, flores.
What? Oh, somebody outside.
Flores, flores para los muertos.
No, not now, not now.
Flores, flores para los muertos.
Crumble and fade and regrets and recriminations. If you'd done this, it wouldn't have cost me that.
Corones, corones para los muertos. Corones.
Legacies, huh? And other things, such as blood-stained pillow slips. Her linen needs changing, yes, mother. But couldn't we get a colored girl to do it? No, we couldn't, of course. Everything gone but the
Flores.
death. I used to sit here, and she used to sit over there. And death was as close to me as you are. We didn't even dare admit we'd had ever heard of it.
Flores. Flores para los muertos. Flores. Flores.
The opposite is desire. So do you wonder? How could you possibly wonder? Not far from Belrive, before we're lost, Belrive was a camp where they trained young soldiers. On Saturday nights, they would go in town to get drunk.
Corones.
And on the way back, they would stagger onto my lawn and call, Blanche, Blanche. The deaf old lady remaining suspected nothing. But sometimes I slipped outside to answer their calls. And later the paddy wagon would gather them up like daisies. The long way home.
Corones. Corones.
The woman turns slowly and drifts back off with her soft, mournful cries. Blanche goes to the dresser and leans forward on it. After a moment, Mitch rises and follows her purposefully. The polka music is fading away. He places her hands on her waist and tries to turn her about.
What do you want?
What I've been missing all summer.
Then marry me, Mitch.
I don't think I want to marry you anymore.
No.
You're not clean enough to bring in the house with my mother.
Go away then. Get out of here quick before I start screaming fire. Get out of here quick before I start screaming fire. Fire, fire, fire.
With a startled gasp, Mitch turns and goes out the outer door, clatters awkwardly down the steps and around the corner of the building. Blanche staggers back from the windows and falls to her knees. The distant piano is slow and blue. Scene 10. It is a few hours later that night. Blanche has been drinking fairly steadily since Mitch left. She has dragged her wardrobe trunk into the center of the bedroom. It hangs open with flowery dresses thrown across it. As the drinking and packing went on, a mood of hysterical exhilaration came into her, and she has decked herself out in a somewhat soiled and crumpled white satin evening gown and a pair of scuffed silver slippers with brilliant sets in their heels. Now she is placing the rhinestone tiara on her head before the mirror of the dressing table and murmuring excitedly as if to a group of spectral admirers.
How about taking a swim, a moonlight swim at the old rock quarry? If anyone's sober enough to drive a car, one of the best way in the world to stop your head buzzing. Oh, only you've got to be careful to dive where the deep pool is. If you hit a rock, you don't come up till tomorrow.
Trembling, she lifts the hand mirror for a closer inspection. She catches her breath and slams the mirror face down with such violence the glass cracks. Stanley appears around the corner of the building. He still has on the vivid green silk bowling shirt. As he rounds the corner, the honky-tonk music is heard and continues softly through the scene. He enters the kitchen, slamming the door. As he peers in at Blanche, he gives a low whistle. He has had a few drinks on the way and has brought some quart of beer bottles home with him.
How's my sister?
She's doing okay.
And how is the baby?
The baby won't come before morning, so they told me to go home and get a little shut-eye.
Does that mean we're to be alone in here?
Yep, it's you and me, Blanche, unless you got somebody hid under the bed. What do you got on those fine feathers for?
Oh, that's right. You left before my wire came.
You got a wire.
I received a telegram from an old admirer of mine.
Anything good?
I think so. An invitation.
What, to a fireman's ball?
A cruise of the Caribbean on a yacht.
Well, what do you know?
I have never been so surprised in my life.
I guess not.
Well, it came like a bolt from the blue.
Who did you say it was from?
An old beau of mine.
Oh, the one that gave you the white fox pieces.
Mr. Shep Huntley. I wore his ATO pin my last year at college. I hadn't seen him again until last Christmas. I ran into him on Biscayne Boulevard. Then just now, this wire inviting me on a cruise of the Caribbean. The problem is clothes. I tore into my trunk to see what I have that's suitable for the tropics.
And come up with that gorgeous diamond tiara.
Ha, this old relic, oh, it's only rhinestones.
Gosh, I thought it was Tiffany diamonds.
Well, anyhow, I shall be entertained in style.
Goes to show you never know what's coming.
Just when I thought my luck had begun to fail me.
Into the picture pops this Miami millionaire.
This man is not from Miami. This man is from Dallas.
This man from Dallas.
Yes, this man is from Dallas, where gold spouts out of the ground.
Well, just so he's from somewhere.
Oh, close the curtains before you undress any further.
This is all I'm going to undress right now. Seen a bottle opener? I used to have a cousin who could open a beer bottle with his teeth. That was his only accomplishment, all he could do. He was just a human bottle opener. And then one time at the wedding party, he broke his front teeth off. After that, he was so ashamed of himself, he used to sneak out of the house when company came. Oh, rain from heaven. Shall we bury the hatchet and make it a loving cup, huh?
No, thank you.
Well, it's a red letter night for both. You're having an oil millionaire and me having a baby.
What are you doing in there or in here?
Here's something I always break out on special occasions like this. The silk pajamas I wore on my wedding night.
Oh.
When the telephone rings and they say, you got a son, I'll tear this off and wave it like a flag. He shakes out a brilliant pajama coat. I guess we were both entitled to put on the dog.
Well, when I think of how divine it is going to be to have such a thing as privacy once more, well, I could weep with joy.
This millionaire from Dallas is not going to interfere with your privacy, is he?
Well, it won't be the sort of thing you have in mind. This man is a gentleman and he respects me. When what he wants is my companionship. A cultivated woman or a woman of intelligence and breeding can enrich a man's life immeasurably. And I have those things to offer. And this doesn't take them away. Physical beauty is passing, a transitory possession, but beauty of the mind and richness of the spirit and tenderness of the heart. And I have all those things, aren't taken away, but grow, increase with the years. How strange that I should be called a destitute woman when I have all of these treasures locked in my heart. I think of myself as a very, very rich woman, but I have been foolish, casting my pearls before swine.
Swine, huh?
Yes, swine. And I'm thinking not only of you, but your friend, Mr. Mitchell. He came to see me tonight. He dared to come here in his work clothes and to repeat slander to me, vicious stories that he had gotten from you. And I gave him his walking papers.
You did, huh?
But then he came back, returned with a box of roses to beg my forgiveness. He implored my forgiveness, but some things are not forgivable. Deliberate cruelty is not forgivable. It's the one unforgivable thing, in my opinion, and it is the one thing of which I have never been guilty. And I told him, I said, thank you, but it was foolish of me to think that we could ever adapt ourselves to each other. Our ways of life are too different. Our attitudes and our backgrounds are incompatible. We have to be realistic about such things. So farewell, my friend, and let there be no hard feelings.
Was this before or after the telegram came from the Texas oil man?
What telegram? Oh, no, after. As a matter of fact, the wire came just as.
As a matter of fact, there was no wire at all.
Oh.
There isn't no millionaire, and Mitch didn't come back with roses because I know where he is.
Oh.
There isn't a goddamn thing but imagination.
Oh.
And lies and conceit and tricks.
Oh.
And look at yourself. Take a look at yourself in that worn out Mardi Gras outfit rented for 50 cents from some rag picker and with the crazy crown on. What queen do you think you are?
Oh, God.
I've been on to you from the start. Not once did you pull any wool over this boy's eyes. You come in here and sprinkle the place with powder and spray perfume and cover the light bulb with a paper lantern. And lo and behold, the place is turned into Egypt and you are the queen of the Nile sitting on your throne and swilling down my liquor. I say, ha, ha, do you hear me? Ha, ha, ha.
Don't come in here.
Lurid reflections appear on the walls around Blanche. The shadows are of a grotesque and menacing form. She catches her breath and crosses to the phone. Stanley goes into the bathroom and closes the door.
Operator, give me long distance, please. I want to get in touch with Mr. Shep Huntley of Dallas. Oh, he's so well known, he doesn't require any address. Just ask anybody who. Wait, no, I couldn't find it right now. Please understand. No, wait. One moment. Someone is nothing. Hold on, please.
She sets the phone down and crosses warily into the kitchen. The night is filled with inhuman voices like cries in a jungle. The shadows and lurid reflections move sinuously as flames along the wall spaces. Through the back wall of the rooms, which have become transparent, can be seen a sidewalk. A prostitute has rolled a drunkard. He pursues her along the walk, overtakes her, and there is a struggle. A policeman's whistle breaks it up, the figures disappear. Some moments later, a woman appears around the corner with a sequin bag, which the prostitute has dropped on the walk. She is rooting excitedly through it. Blanche presses her knuckles to her lips and returns slowly to the phone, speaking in a hoarse whisper.
Operator, never mind long distance. Get Western Union. There isn't time to be Western Union. Western Union. Yes, I want to take down this message. In desperate desperate circumstances. Help me. Caught in a trap. Caught in, oh.
The bathroom door is thrown open and Stanley comes out in his brilliant silk pajamas, grinning. She gasps and backs away from the phone. He stares at her with a count of 10. Then a clicking becomes audible from the telephone, steady and rasping.
You left the phone off the hook.
He crosses to it deliberately and sets it back on the hook. After he replaces it, he stares at her again, his mouth slowly curving into a grin as he weaves between Blanche and the outer door. The barely audible blue piano begins to drum up louder. The sound of it turns into a roar of an approaching locomotive. Blanche crouches, pressing her fists to her ears.
Let me get by you.
Get by me, sure. Go ahead.
You stand over there.
You got plenty of room to walk by me now.
Oh, not with you there. But I've got to get out somehow.
Oh, you think I'll interfere with you?
He takes a step towards her, biting his tongue, which protrudes between his lips.
Come to think of it, maybe you wouldn't be bad to interfere with.
Hey, back. Don't you come toward me another step or I'll...
What?
Oh, some awful thing will happen. It will.
What are you putting on now?
I warn you, don't. I'm in danger.
She smashes a bottle on the table and faces him, clutching the broken top.
What did you do that for?
So I could twist the broken end in your face.
I bet you would do that.
Oh, I will if you...
Oh, so you want some rough house. All right. Let's have some rough house.
He springs towards her, overturning the table. She cries out and strikes him with the top of the bottle, but he catches her wrist.
Tiger, drop the bottle top. Drop it. We've had this date with each other from the beginning.
She moans. The bottle top falls. She sinks to her knees. He picks her up in her figure and carries her to the bed. The hot trumpet and drums from the Four Deuces sounds loudly. Fade out. Scene 11. It is some weeks later. Stella is packing things. The sound of water can be heard running in the bathroom. The porters are partly open on the poker players, Stanley, Steve, Mitch, and Pablo, who sit around the table in the kitchen. Here, the kitchen is now the same raw, lurid one of the disastrous poker night. The building is framed with a sky of turquoise. Stella has been crying as she arranges the flowery dresses in the open trunk. Eunice comes down the steps from her flat above and enters the kitchen. There's an outburst from the poker table.
Ah!
Drew to an inside straight and made it, by God.
Maldita sea tu suerto.
Put it in English, greaseball.
I am cursing your rotten luck.
You know what luck is? Luck is believing you're lucky. Take it to left. I believed I was lucky. I figured that 4 out of 5 would not come through, but I would. And I did. I put that down as a rule. To hold front position in this rat race, you gotta believe you are lucky.
You, brag, bull.
What's the matter with him?
I always did say that men are countless things with no feelings whatsoever. But this is done, but everything. Waiting right of where you are.
What's the matter with her?
How is my baby?
Sleeping like a little angel. Brought you some grapes. Blanche?
Bathing.
How is she?
She wouldn't eat anything, but she asked for a drink.
What did you tell her?
I just told her that we've made arrangements for her to rest in the country. She's got it mixed in her mind with Chef Huntley.
Stella?
Yes, Blanche?
if anyone calls while I'm bathing, take the number and tell them that I'll call right back.
Yes.
That cool yellow silk, the boucle. Oh, will you see if it's crushed? If it's not too, I'll wear it. And on the lapel, that silver and turquoise pin in the shape of a seahorse. You'll find them in the heart-shaped box I keep my accessories in. And Stella, try and locate a bunch of artificial violets in that box too, to pin with the seahorse on the lapel of the jacket.
I don't know if I did the right thing.
What else could you do?
I couldn't believe her story and go on living with Stanley.
Don't ever believe it. Life has got to sort on it. No matter what happens, you got to keep on going.
Is the coast clear?
Yes, Blanche. Tell her how well she's looking.
Please close the curtains before I come out.
They're closed.
How many for you?
2.
3.
Blanche appears in its amber light. She has a tragic radiance of a red satin robe following the sculptural lines of her body. The Varsuviana rises up. Blanche enters.
I've just washed my hair.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm not sure I got the soap out.
That's fine, yeah.
It's a problem. It's not yet a call.
Who from, Blanche?
Yeah, partner.
Why, not yet, honey.
How strange.
Hey, Mitch. Come.
It's going to walk out before they get here.
The sound of this new voice shocks Blanche. She makes a shocked gesture, forming her name with her lips. Stella nods and looks quickly away. Blanche stands quiet still for some moments. The silverback deer in her hand, a look of sorrowful perplexity, as though all human experiences show on her face. Blanche finally.
What's going on here?
That must be them.
What? Oh. Did I jump?
Somebody.
No.
Huh?
Maybe I did.
Okay.
She's going to walk here.
What's happening here? I want an explanation of what is happening here.
Hush, hush.
Eunice.
Please, Blanche.
Walk out of here before they get here.
Okay. I don't know where you are. You're somewhere else.
Okay. Please, Blanche.
Why are you looking at me like that? Is something wrong with me?
You look wonderful, Blanche. Don't you look wonderful?
Yes.
I understand you're going on a little trip.
Yes, Blanche is. She's going on a vacation.
Help me. Help me get dressed.
Is this what you...
Yes, it'll do. Oh, I'm anxious. I'm anxious to get out of here. This place is a trap.
It's lilac color.
Oh, you're both mistaken. It's Della Robbia blue. The blue of the robe in the old Madonna pictures. Are those grapes washed? Washed. I said, are they washed?
They're from the French market.
Oh, that doesn't mean they've been washed. Oh, those cathedral bells. They're the only clean thing in the quarter. Well, now I'm going. I'm ready to go.
She's gonna walk out of here and get here.
Wait, Blanche.
I don't want to pass in front of those men.
Then wait till the game breaks up.
Sit down and
Oh, I can smell the sea air. The rest of my time I'm going to spend on the sea. And when I die, I'm going to die on the sea. You know what I shall die of? I shall die of eating an unwashed grape one day out on the ocean. I will die with my hand in the hand of some nice looking ship's doctor, or a very young one with a small blonde mustache and a big silver watch. Poor lady, they'll say. The quinine did her no good. That unwashed grape has transported her soul to heaven. And I'll be buried at sea, sewn up in a clean white sack and dropped overboard at noon in the blaze of a summer into an ocean as blue as my first mother's eyes.
A doctor and a matron had appeared around the corner of the building and climbed the steps to the porch. The gravity of their perception is exaggerated. The unmistakable aura of the state institution with its cynical detachment. The doctor rings the doorbell, and the murmur of the game is interrupted.
Must be them.
What is it?
Excuse me while I go down and answer the door.
Yes.
I wonder if it's me.
Someone is calling for Blanche.
It is for me then. Oh, is it the gentleman I was expecting from Dallas?
I think it is, Blanche.
I'm not quite ready.
Ask him to wait outside. Everything packed?
My silver toilet articles are still out.
Oh.
They're waiting in front of the house.
They? Who's they?
There's a lady with it.
Well, I cannot imagine who this lady could be. How is she dressed?
Oh, just a sort of plain suit.
Possibly she.
Shall we go, Blanche?
Must we go through that room?
I'll go with you.
How do I look?
Lovely.
Lovely.
Oh, please don't get up. I'm only passing through.
How do you do?